you went to Armand's?
We went to Armand's, and then the next day.
By the
is
way,
me.
we're on stage. Just so you
Cool.
guys-
Just how small was it, Tox?
It was probably smaller than Tom.
Oh, that's like microscopic, you mean? Like an
Yeah, it
amoeba.
was. I couldn't really like electron microscopes. Cannot find this.
Dude, Tom's in the chat. We don't need to hear about his 2-inch terror.
He's
Oh,
teeny
sorry.
tiny.
And now a man who
2
soars
inches is
above
pretty
Culture
wide.
Casino by at least an inch and a half. It's comic
He's in the
strip.
chat and he's pooping. The decided chat should know.
Why?
Somebody pointed him out.
Delilah. Du-du-du-du-du-du-du.
Hi, it's Thursday, everyone. Hell must have froze over because I put out a video today.
That's what I was thinking.
I didn't know what it
Wow.
was.
Send him
What's
some
a video?
super Money.
It was pretty funny because
I thought it was spam.
somebody made a comment. I'm trying to remember. Oh God, I'm totally blanking right now. I'm tired because I've been up since like 4:30 in the morning. Anyway, he's like, I forgot you do videos. I replied back, so did I.
Oh, that was yeah, that was
That was
Team
funny.
Flynn.
Funny.
Oh no, that was
No. That was JS Pena. Thank you. It was
JS Pena. It was JS
Yeah.
Pena.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go get. The
Yeah, it's
phone.
funny because I actually set my alarm at 6:30 so I could actually go make this video, and I ended up waking up at 4:30, and I was just like, I'm just like, by the time I hit 5:30, I was like, fuck, I'm getting out of bed. My wife is taking showers so I can get ready for work. I'm like, I'm just gonna start researching my video, and yeah, I got it out. So yeah, it's
I'm
my
glad
plan
you were
because
able to get it out.
yeah, indeed. Same here. So my plan from now on going forward, on certain days, I'm going to get up early in the morning to go and
Whip
make
it out.
videos before work, because by the time,
Mhm. Jack off.
you know,
Yeah, we get it.
well, yeah, you got to jack off first, get going,
That could
and
be
then
the video.
do some
could be.
research and record the video, right? So yeah, rather than trying to like say, okay, I'm going to do it tonight, and I just too fucking tired.
Do it tonight.
Yeah, I'll just gonna start
Good.
trying to do stuff in the morning. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's probably gonna be a lot more low effort and a lot less editing like I did today. And my light turned off. Yeah, as always.
You know, I'm not gonna say this out of any kind of spite or anything like that, but I am. We can't tell the difference.
What, the light?
No, between your high and low efforts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, it was a pretty nasty dig. I feel sorry about that.
Anyway, yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Nothing happened at all.
Nothing
You
at all
know,
happened this week.
Oh, it's been a
Before
very
you
boring
get
week.
going on talking about stuff like that,
We got a Pinochet update.
there's
Yes. Yes, we do.
we're gonna bring this
Yeah.
up. All right,
Thank
so he survived. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
he's there. Thank you very much,
Yep.
Pinochet. Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Probably not throwing any communists out of helicopters yet, but
No,
Not
it
yet.
was great. I got a text today or a message, from on X from him. He's like, "Is let you know I survived." I'm like, "Thank God."
Oh, no, thank God.
He's like, "Yeah, same here. I'm glad I'm all right too." So it's like, and I let the rest of the guys know once I heard from him. So yeah,
It's a little bit disturbing that you're the first person he texts after he gets off the operating
It
table.
is,
Well, I
isn't
oh,
it?
he's texted me
I
too.
don't, I'm pretty
And
sure
the
I was
super
like
chatting.
maybe like 4th or 15th
He's
down the
super
line or
chatting
something.
from his intensive care unit bed.
He is. That's where he is. He
I
only
must
texted
let
me. He
comics
texted me
know.
when he had the catheter removed. So
See,
that's,
every
That's
$5
because
super
you
chat
like it.
is $5 less for the defibrillator if he needs it. So
mhm.
Yeah.
it's pretty serious.
I should probably go to the live preview. Yeah. I don't know. What
It's here, getting your sternum plate cut is very painful if they don't give you anesthetic.
That's
Yeah,
very
I don't-
true. So we need to know, Pinochet. You don't have to super chat this, but did you get anesthetic?
Or is that
Anesthesia,
optional
or
under
whatever it's-
Obamacare?
I don't know. You were in Massachusetts.
Anesthetic? You mean bourbon?
Exactly. He's a real man. He did it
Most
with me.
anesthesia.
Bram, I wouldn't even notice.
All right.
What was
so-
it?
Did he
Say
just
something?
like raw dog it and go hardcore mode? And is that how he did?
Uh,
He was singing the United States national anthem the entire time they were doing the surgery.
Why is it not showing up? That's
He was like the 40-year-old virgin. As soon as they
there it
started
is,
cutting,
okay.
he's like, Kelly Clarkson.
all right. I'm gonna get these real quick. TVG Monster says, "Hi everyone, how are you doing, sir? Hope you're well."
TGV.
TVG
Go,
Monster
go.
for another $5. To be frank, Kimmel should have been fired a decade back, mostly because he's not funny at all and a total hack. Yeah, I mentioned that in my video.
That's pretty harsh
the
and truthful.
Blackface.
blackface.
Funny.
That's a real insult to hacks to compare them to Jimmy
Yeah.
Kimmel.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel's never been good.
Have we forgotten the Carl Malone thing?
Did he do
Oh,
that
the
during the
Carl
Man
Malone
Show, or
was
did he actually
funny
do
as
that
hell.
during the? That was Man Show years, right?
Yeah.
Probably, or in
It
between.
was. It was Man
So-
Show, I think.
The first 2 weeks of his show were some of the funniest I've seen on late night, because when they realized who they'd hired, ABC thought the show was going to be over with quick, and they couldn't get anybody to help be a guest host because he had Adam Carolla on. Then he had Snoop Dogg on for like 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and they were drinking live and getting shit-faced, and Snoop Dogg was puffing. They brought in a deep fryer and would just grab people's stuff and throw it in the deep fryer, like a guy's watch and so it was hilarious. Then the third or fourth week, he came out in a suit. And I was like, okay, this is over. And then I don't know what happened. He
TDS.
used to be funny.
Yep. He was funny at one point. I don't know what the hell happened to him. All right, now we
Who
got
was
to
funny?
Pinochet's comment. Kimmel.
What's that?
At one point, he was.
You mean
Peter-
the shitty half of the Man Show?
Yeah.
I guess.
Adam Carolla's
One that
base
used
is
People forget that Joe Rogan was on the Man Show at one point. That's how far AFL.
Jeez,
That's true.
I had no idea he went all the way back to them. That's funny.
But Kimmel started on When Ben Stein's Money. He was the host for that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like after the Man Show, wasn't it?
Mm-mm.
Was it before?
That was before, and then he was doing the Man Show during it.
Oh, okay.
Because When Ben
All right,
Stein's Money was very
Pinochet's-
popular. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do remember that. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5. Well, you know it's serious when your triple bypass turns into a quadruple bypass.
Quintuple.
Getting your
Quintuple. They
Oh,
got all
even worse.
five.
quintuple.
Five.
Holy shit. Quintuple
Why
bypass.
stop at 3? Why stop at 4? Go all the way to 5.
When you can get a 5? Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting your sternum plate cut is very painful. Figured I'll let you know. So many pretty nurses though.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
positive.
That's
That is a
that's
positive.
definitely a positive.
That whole chest
Sorry,
cracking
dude.
thing is a problem.
Yeah, you don't want to go too hard in testing out that new heart though with the nurses though. You may want to give it a little bit of time.
Well,
Jacob.
my
Keep some
my
of the blood in the
grandfather-
upper half.
Yeah. My grandfather actually had I was a quadruple bypass like twice, so he had his chest cracked twice. That's crazy, dude. I'm
Hey,
sorry,
Eric.
man.
Yeah.
You don't want to
seriously.
end up like Blue in Old School. You know, last thing he saw
You're
was
my
women
boy,
he
Blue.
had the hots for, and then he died just from literally looking at them.
I
So
think that
don't
is
end
the way
up
you want to
like
go
Blue.
out.
Nah.
No,
Have the
All right,
hot
well,
chick
this
Seems like a
will
pretty
lead to the
good way to
first-
go out.
Yeah.
True.
Undo Sin
all
Sin.
yours.
The shot of
This will lead into the first topic. So Depot for $5 says ahoy. Let the Schadenfreude begin. Oh boy, buddy, has it begun. What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. This
Conan.
counts for the goal of comics.
Yeah.
YouTube is a dick. Yeah. So let me hide this and bring Jason in. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, sorry I'm late.
It's all good. dude.
Hello.
All right. So
Well, you're fine.
we got word yesterday that Jimmy Kimmel was put on indefinite suspension.
We'll be back
because
next
of-
year.
Because I don't know,
Be
dude.
back in a week.
It's
Nope.
not looking like it, man. For his comments on his Monday monologue, and we'll pull up his comments and we'll talk about it. But the thing that's so funny that we're seeing right now, of course, you know, the left is collectively shitting themselves. They're trying to blame, say Trump is using the FCC and all this other crap. And the first thing I want to point out, and this is something I heard before, but Az actually highlighted it in his video. Basically, the rules of the FCC when it comes to deceiving, you know, the public, and intentionally deceiving the public. And yeah, sure, you could say that maybe he didn't know, probably not. based off of the news that came out on Monday, because they do film those shows at like 4:00. But he deliberately, in my opinion, misled. He lied to the American people based off that intro. And now you have Hollywood Reporter as well as Rolling Stone coming out and trying to defend and say, yeah, well, that's one way of interpreting what he said, but there's other ways it could be
Pretty
interpreted.
clear. It's pretty clear. There is no out of context here.
No, there really isn't. And
Yeah.
I do agree that we do need to make sure that we don't get too carried away and actually really start limiting, the First Amendment. We have, Pam Bondi throwing around hate speech now. It's like hate speech is free speech.
Oh God,
the-
that was the
That's a
dumbest
terrible
take.
thing to say.
She
yeah.
has had some dumbass takes. That took the cake. That was almost
Yes.
as bad as the Ketanji Brown Jackson bullshit.
about the Constitution, First Amendment getting in the way.
The
of
First
the
Amendment
government.
gets in the way of the government doing what it wants. Yes.
Yeah,
I just- oh,
absolutely.
man.
But at the same time, we do need to hold the media accountable for lies. And they've been getting away with lying to the public for years and years and years. And, now they're beginning to get caught in 4K, and there's a president and administration that's actually willing to do something about it. And on top of that, it's like because of, the whole situation with Charlie Kirk's assassination and, was it, trying to remember the name of the organization. Shit, I'll have to go look it up real quick. Basically, the one that basically threatened to pull out. They're the syndicators.
Oh,
the ones that-
is it Nexstar?
yeah, Next
Yes.
Star. Thank you. I knew it was Star
Next
something.
star, and then there was another
As well as Sinclair.
Sinclair.
Both of them
Sinclair.
are like, "F you, we're out of here." If you don't pull Kimmel. And so
Right.
it's not just the FCC. And the funny thing about it is they're trying to blame Benny Johnson for a lot of this because he's having a conversation with the FCC chair. And he basically asked him, hey, is there something the FCC could do about this? And he's like, oh, I'll just look into it. That was it. That was like the total comment that was made. He's not like, yeah, we're going to go after Jimmy Kimmel. We're going to pull their license. He basically said that they would look into it. That's it. Yeah, that's the outrage around this. And I do get it. We want to make sure that government doesn't overreach. 100%. We do want to make sure that we have free speech in this country. And we want to make sure that, the government's not going and silencing political speech for obvious reasons. That's bad. That's very, very bad. But that's not what happened here.
No.
Well, it could
Jimmy
be.
Kimmel
Yeah.
did not make a joke. He did not. He wasn't being satirical. South Park is satire. I mean, just look at the episode with.
We're going to talk about that too tonight, right?
Yeah, we'll bring that up too. But yeah, I mean, it's satire is fine, political speech is fine, but when you're deliberately misleading the
Hey,
public,
John Edgar.
that's an issue.
He made
Yeah.
a declarative statement, and it's not just him, because there's a whole bunch of writers writing that monologue. So it's not just Jimmy may not have known. I mean,
No,
they've got
he
a team of
fucking knew.
people working on that.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows about all
So
this
it's
stuff.
deliberate.
Well, like I said, the origin of this whole story is that this really has nothing to do with free speech anyway. So, like, the whole free speech angle to it is them trying to pass the buck of accountability of what actually happened. But as you mentioned, it's like he deliberately lied and tried to make MAGA complicit in a murder of one of their own. That's what he was trying to allude to with his so-called joke that night. That's what got him into trouble. because
Wasn't
that
even
is
a
actually-
joke.
I know that's the
It's a
thing.
monologue,
They keep
wasn't it?
calling.
Not a joke. Full stop.
It-
was. Go ahead, Jacob.
No, it's just saying like this is the other part of the problem too. It's like they don't know whether because it's like depending on the argument, Jimmy Kimmel's either a journalist or a comedian, but it's never consistent in any basis whatsoever. So on one hand, he's just a comedian making jokes. But on the other hand, all these people like CNN and MSNBC are running around talking about, this is the death of journalism in the United States. He's not a journalist. He just said he
Not
was
a
a comedian.
journalist.
So
However,
That's
here,
why that
he-
label
this
of
is the problem.
infotainment needs to be completely removed because they want to have the best of all their arguments. They want the advantage of them, but as soon as there's the slightest of a disadvantage, they change the rules all of a sudden. As soon as they have the slightest
they're-
disadvantage, they
they're
need to
trying to
decide
set a
are they
narrative up,
entertainment?
Nick.
I know they're. You got to decide
Yeah.
if they're entertainment or if they're information. You can't have it both ways.
This
I'm
is
sick of all these loopholes all these people do to get away with these things.
This is
has
a
never been
narrative about a
free speech.
crime, though.
Like when I work at my employer, there are certain things I can't say. That's just because it's part of my job. Well, guess what? This was an employer operating on their own, making this decision. The government, the Trump administration, didn't say, "Hey, you should go fire so and so. You should go cancel a show." They operated to make this decision on their own. Much like if an employer fires me from the job, 9 times out of 10, it would just be the employer operating on their own. It's a private company. They can do whatever they want. Remember those words?
And
Yes.
to
But
Jacob's point, 70s, you've been trying. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. But just like they're setting up a narrative here that's this is very dangerous because this is a crime, and this is an accused with a motive. The motive will be a large part of that trial. Unless he just pleads guilty, everything that's done with. But if there's a not guilty plea, motive then will be a huge factor in that trial. They're trying to set up a narrative that will interfere with the motive part of it. And that could have a very big part of the outcome, depending on the jury that's chosen, in terms of the sentence and other things. So they're trying to obfuscate the motive. That's a concerted effort going on in certain publications, or at least you could say it appears that way.
Or simply put, they're just trying to deceive people, right?
Yeah.
And real quick, before Tom gets in here and says anything stupid, I just want to say in front of his face, you have a pretty cool shirt. I just want to throw that out there.
He's a
Well,
pretty
thank
cool
you.
guy.
I
He's
don't
a
know
pretty
how
cool guy.
stupid I'm actually going to say tonight because I've actually had my FCC license, so I know a thing or two about this shit.
Oh.
And yeah, so as we reported too, not just as, like, yeah, this goes beyond Trump. And the thing is the part that I think is under scrutiny here is the fact that he passed off false news on a broadcast network.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between cable and broadcast news, because anything broadcasted like radio or television networks is regulated by the FCC, the federal government. And what they have are regulations. And look, you learn all the things you can and cannot do when you get your FCC license. So, and you should know, I was gonna say, I think you do too, Tox. So like, yeah, if you're in violation of that, that's a big fucking deal. But at the end of the day, I don't think much is going to happen to Jimmy because he wouldn't even be the one to get in trouble. It would be ABC.
Yeah.
Right. It's the
or Disney, basically.
Yeah, and they basically would probably just get fined, but it doesn't really matter at this point because it's not about Trump, and that's what a lot of people are throwing in the things. Like if Trump wanted to take him down, he could have taken him down weeks ago. And Valiant put up a brilliant post.
He would have done the same thing to everyone else.
Exactly. And Valiant put up a brilliant post. Is like, it doesn't matter what they want to hide behind. Basically, Jimmy, or you could put it like this way too. Nexstar and Sinclair just handed Disney a fucking get out of jail free card when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel. Because the show was probably costing money. And what happened was, is as soon as Nexstar and Sinclair channel said, we're not broadcasting this, that means all the major sponsors probably pulled out. And at that moment, when you lose all your sponsors, guess what? There's no money. What little money they did have was gone. And then what happened next was they told Jimmy, we're done for now. We're going to put this on hold indefinitely. We're going to try and bring you back. Just be cool. And he's like, I don't want to be cool. I'm not going to apologize. I want to explain what I was trying to say. And Dana Walden told him, look, if you do that, then you're pretty much done. So they pretty much put him in a cage and said, look, you get to sit down, shut up right now, and play ball. But then his people have been leaking to the press, and that's what I think you were talking about, comics, where that story that you shared, and I've seen it too, where there's so much dancing and spinning around the truth in there. It's like, no, what he said was a blatant fucking lie. And at the end of the day, it's more about how it's perceived than what he actually said. So you can sit there and dance around what he meant to say all fucking day long. The fact that 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, even, it doesn't matter. You're on a network channel lying about something. That is a big deal. Well, when you turn around and say that the killer was a MAGA supporter, and we know for a fact that he wasn't, and you have people around you, it doesn't matter if you wrote it or not, you're in a position where it's very hard to prove any kind of like, oh, I didn't know that because that was the report, last report I saw.
It's the same thing Candace Owens is getting sued for by the Macrones and going to lose.
Oh, she's
is that same
he's gonna get pegged.
Yeah,
he's gonna get pegged, and that pegging ain't gonna even come from her husband this time.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. Hold on.
Well, not only that.
Wait a second. I'm sorry, Jason. Jacob. Jason wanted to say something, then we'll go to Jacob.
Well, I was just going to say, to Tom's point, the fact that Nexstar and Sinclair both were saying we're going to preempt Jimmy, and you're talking about the sponsors and the advertisers. This is not at the network level either, because I've worked for a Nexstar station, and they own the TV stations. The TV stations are the affiliate of the network. Now
It's like a franchise kind of thing.
yeah,
Basically.
whatever the network ad sales were, Nexstar and then Sinclair, and I think Sinclair did it because Nexstar went first, and Sinclair said,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, we don't have to be the first ones to be the bad guys." But the fact that they were both sitting there saying we're preempting Kimmel, that tells me that they couldn't sell local advertising, and that's very, very
Yeah.
important.
That's bad
Or
for
the
them. They're
pushback
doing
was that
something
bad.
else.
One of the two. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact
Yeah.
that they can't sell ads, they're sitting there going, well, we can't sell any ads, so we're going to put something in there where we can sell ads, because there are so many people at the local level in the city, in the town, who have had enough.
They're not going to
And
watch.
they're not going to watch Kimmel. They've already called the TV station to say, why do you still have this guy on? Whatever. The
Yeah.
feedback at the local level, both on the sales side and the viewer side, has given whatever momentum to this, where Nexstar can do the thing. Now, I think the Tenga deal was probably part of it too, even though they say that FCC didn't do any pressure on them. And the fact that Sinclair is also coming out, because they don't have any dog in the fight for that Tenga deal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it was the ABC Disney, it was Iger and Dana Walden. They don't have any, they don't derive any benefit from the
I
Tenga
think
deal
Tom's
either.
right
So
here.
I don't
This
think
was-
the FCC, it doesn't have anything to do
Yeah,
with
this was everybody taking an opportunity to dump this show that was a loser.
I
Jacob?
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we already know that what's his
Oh,
name
I'm sorry.
was losing 40 million.
Yeah.
Colbert.
And that was
Colbert.
the same- I
Thank you,
think it was
Colbert.
the same
He was
thing.
the most
odds are
watched.
Kimmel was as well. Before we jump over to Jacob, I know that
Jacob.
Brahma, you wanted to say something first, but you kind of got stopped on a bit.
It was a ways back, but Jacob was making the point about journalist versus comedian. I'm getting pretty sick of every time a supposed journalist or somebody who does the news says something that is so far over the edge, they jump around and then say, "Oh no, I'm a comedian." I mean, Kimmel's doing it. Amazing Lucas was doing it. I mean,
Mhm.
you're only a comedian when you finally get to the point where everybody's pissed off at you. The rest of the time, you're supposed to be taken completely serious.
Well, the thing is with that, the role of journalist, as far as criteria for accountability goes, because Limbo used to make this point. He's like, I'm not a journalist, I'm an
As an
entertainer.
entertainer.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody who's in the context of a news program saying this stuff like Kimmel does, there are a completely different set of consequences. And Kimmel
Yes.
can sit there and say, well, I'm a comedian. Sure, you're a comedian. But the shows that you've been doing haven't been funny. But it's not, he's not in a news setting. So I can see where he could argue that point, that he's not a journalist. because
News
he
doesn't
isn't.
matter when it comes to broadcast. So that was my point.
That's true. Yeah, because anybody that's on the air has a responsibility to follow the FCC rules. Anybody on network or local television, even it's not just at the network level. And it is a different set of criteria for network broadcast network than it is for cable or streaming or any of the rest of them. If he's got that big of an audience that he can sit there and say, "Look, we've got all these millions on YouTube," then go do YouTube and
Go
sign
do
out.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so then the other part of this is that Kimmel's team and people trying to, I guess, clean up this mess have been lying their asses off the last 24 hours, trying to cover up his original lie. Because all day today, people were floating out these stories saying that, oh, well, Kimmel just wanted to go on there last night to clarify what he really meant by what he said the first time around. Like he was going to clean up the mess himself. Now the Wall Street Journal is reporting that actually he wasn't going to do any of that. He was going to double down even further and blame MAGA for the whole thing and incite this even further, which is why ABC made the decision to pull his show last night when they did, because they figured that he was going to push it to a point where they weren't going to be able to come back from. So now they're saying that he was going to incite it even further when they spent all day saying that no, he was going to clean everything up. So nobody wants to nobody apparently knows what exactly he was going to do or what he was going to say. They just know that it was bad enough that everyone pulled away, and now they're having this big debate about when they're going to let him back on. Because you say that, what happens if they let him back, let's say next week or something like that. Well, we all know for a fact that he does come back, he's going to go even harder on Trump supporters and blame them for the whole thing. And there's still a lot of heat and tension between what actually happened to Charlie Kirk last week. And is that something that you want to deal with right now? Is ABC and Disney really in the position at this moment with all the deals that they have going on to deal with this mess, or they're just going to wash their hands of it and say, you know what, we just can't afford this at the moment?
And when you see all the whining about cancel culture right now, remember Tucker was number 2 in all of television when he got axed.
Yeah.
And they all celebrated every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we still have the videos.
You could even bring in Alex
receipts.
Jones and some other ones too. But to what Jacob was saying, like bring up that article that you shared in the chat where I said I hadn't seen so much spinning and dancing since the last time I was at a strip club.
The Rolling Stone article.
Yeah. That's exactly what Jimmy was going to say. No, there's not just the Rolling Stone. There's the other one too as well. I don't know if you guys saw that one. And so this is what I'm saying. His people leaked this shit out.
Funny.
So we know exactly what he was going to say.
The thing is with Kimmel, he didn't get canceled. He just lost his job. He can easily go elsewhere and bounce back. And honestly, he's going to be fine. I'm not saying that I have any like for him because I think he's a douchetarian fucknut. However, people like Gina Carano were actually canceled.
Yeah.
People who could go barely anywhere to fulfill, let's just say, the job that they want to do. He can just go elsewhere. He will be just fine. James Gunn, same case. He didn't really get canceled when he got fired from Marvel. He just got fired from Marvel, went over to Warner Brothers to get started DC. Obviously, he ended up getting his job back at Marvel, but the point is, he never actually got canceled. Neither did Jimmy Kimmel. These guys, they basically are just guys who lost their jobs, and they can go.
And Kimmel hasn't actually been fired yet. Just keep that.
He hasn't been fired. They just basically suspended the show. The other thing too is that you actually had AOC come out and applaud and cheer on the firing of Tucker Carlson.
I remember that.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Well, that all aside, Valiant made a great point, and that is if Disney really was behind Kimmel, then what's their excuse? They could have put him on any other fucking channel. They got channels that are not regulated by the FCC. They could put him on Hulu only. They could put him on ESPN.
That's true.
They could put him on any one of their cable channels, and it wouldn't matter. The reason they're not doing it is because we've said time and time again, this thing is losing fucking money, and they just got a get out of jail free card. And if they can make Trump look bad in the process, so be it.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, you look at what they did to Roseanne Barr. It's the same people.
Yeah.
And now everybody who was crowing about it and celebrating that Roseanne Barr got canceled over making a joke about Valerie Jarrett.
Well, she didn't know she was black at the time.
Well, even more so, Gina Carano's a better example still, but
it's all the same kind of thing where you're depending on who's getting canceled by whom, these people want to have selective outrage. And now, in the wake of everything that's going on with Charlie Kirk, everything has now flipped. So, the conservatives, those of us who have been victims of this for so long, are not having it anymore, and they don't know how to handle the blowback now.
So,
and hang on. There's one thing I want to get. So, B. Kelly basically said we're being hypocrites. I would like to know how, dude, because everything that we're pointing out is within the law. And we're not saying that Jimmy Kimmel should be fired from not liking Trump, because the guy's been doing this shit for like the last 8
everything
years.
else he said was fine.
Yeah, I don't fucking care. But when you're basically lying to the American public, that's an issue. Okay. And yes,
and that's why I brought in your
I don't
FCC
have a problem
business.
with holding a people to their own standard, which is what they've been doing to us.
Mm-hmm.
They've been using their standard in basically using our principles against us. I don't have an issue with using their principles against them when it comes to the whole cancel culture thing. I've said in my video that I dropped today that basically if the Democrats said, hey, and the left said, hey, let's get rid of cancel culture, let's stop, I am all for it, as long as they're sincere. Because the issue here that most people don't understand, as soon as they get back in power, they're going to be using the exact same shit they've been doing before. So the only way we make them stop is by making them bleed when it comes to cancel culture.
So I just want to say to that, I posted on Twitter today in response to something Quarter Black said to this. You showed no mercy when you held power. Don't expect it now that you have lost it.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's not me. All right. That's from the other side, the ones that you persecuted and went after. Don't expect mercy from them if you showed them none. And after the Germans lost, we're doing all that stuff. The collaborators in France, all that stuff, and the collaborators that happened in Japan, there was no mercy for them.
Yeah.
All right. And that's what this is. Go ahead, Jacob. Sorry.
I'll expand even further to that because Air July has made a couple of videos on this point, and I agree with him 1000%. Like the left ultimately has no standards and no principles. They don't. They go by an any means necessary mantra, and the only time that they ever care about the standards and the principles of the right is when they're getting essentially blowback for something that they did, and now all of a sudden they want to use your standards and principles against you by saying, "Well, I thought you were for this. I thought that you supported this," in a way to get you to back off of giving them exactly what they deserve. There's a big accountability problem with our nation right now, and essentially, especially after what happened with Charlie Kirk, and it has been a little over a week, and we've seen a lot of people smear Kirk, celebrate his death, and I think that was kind of the snapping point for a lot of people in the right. It's like, okay, these people not only really truly don't care about you, I think they've made it very, very clear that they want you off of this planet. So people have gotten to the point where we're stopped giving people the benefit of the doubt. It's like, no, okay, you guys want to play this game, we're going to hold you accountable to your standards. So we're playing your rules now. So all of these things that you guys have been saying and that you guys have been holding other people to, now you're going to have your feet held to the fire. And they don't want their feet held to the fire. So now they're trying to spin this as if somehow we're the hypocrites because we're holding them to their own words and their own standards now.
Science fiction writer Devin Erickson, he had an excellent point on this. He was talking about, you guys have been hitting us with a stick for I don't know how long, at least 10 years now. You guys have been hitting us with a stick. And now when we grab the stick and hit you back, that is not attacking you. You have been attacking us and attacking us and attacking us and attacking us. And now we're defending ourselves and fighting back. That is a completely different thing as far as using this cancel culture against you. It's a completely different thing now because now we're hitting you back because you started it, and we're going to finish it. And
and they're like, why are you hitting me? Why are you hitting me?
How many years ago? I mean, we really can. The pendulum's going the other way. It's really bothering me that now we're going to see the authoritative right. We saw the authoritative left. Now I got to fucking deal with the authoritative right, and I'm really tired of hearing that. Really am. All right. Here's the deal. Okay. The people on the right have persecuted people before. I'm one of them. People on the left persecuted people before. I'm one of them. How about you just fucking stop and get out of my business? How about that?
That would be nice.
That would be ideal.
Right, fuck off. People on the left, fuck off. That's how this country started. Yeah. Well, it didn't start freedom of religion and all that other stuff. It started out, fucking leave me alone. That's how it started. Okay? And that's where we are.
There's a fear that the pendulum has swung back the other way and they won't be able to stop it from going back. That's it. And that's why people are freaking out now because
they also said there was okay. The pendulum, you cannot stop it. It's not going to stop in one or the other. It will keep going back. We'll go back and forth and all that stuff because the people in the middle got tired of the people on the left. And previously, the people in the middle got tired of the people on the right. Okay. So in a couple of years, we're going to get tired of hearing all this bullshit from the people on the right. And we're going to go back to voting for people on the left.
And
because really,
right back
the majority of the people are right. Yeah, they're right down the middle.
Well,
and everybody on those two ends, you're fucking nuts. And you're just lucky you live in this country. That's it. So, I'm glad the guy's gone because he's not funny. Okay? And he's been a real dick.
That's the only reason why he should actually be gone.
But he didn't get fired. He didn't get canceled. He pissed off advertisers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And everybody that's in the business here knows that if you piss off advertisers,
broke the law. Sorry.
He might have broke the law. He might have broke FCC. But you know what? I'll let whoever's dealing with that because we know that entire group's still corrupt.
Well, and here's what I think is one of the most important things about this entire situation is we need to start holding these public figures accountable, especially
Yes.
when they violate laws. Because if we let him slide without even like a slap on the wrist, which is in my opinion what he's getting right now, you know,
Yep.
I wish I could get
agree.
some paid time off because he's still making money.
Oh, yeah.
But the
His
thing
contract's
there
still getting
is,
paid, yeah.
I personally, I can't speak for everybody, wouldn't pretend to, but I personally would like to see everyone held accountable for the actions that they deem worthy of follow through.
Yep.
And not only was Jimmy Kimmel willing to push a lie live on nationally and internationally broadcasted programs, but he was wanting then to, in my personal opinion, once again, double down and push further through that lie to try and cement it into an unjustified public opinion because of his viewers. Yeah, it's probably only 129,000 people across the world watching his show, but still, it spreads.
That's only 128,000 more than this one.
It spreads. It takes one person believing bullshit to get another person to believe it because they can say it in the right way to get the other people, and then it just spins out of control. And we need to stop the cyclical nonsense. We need to literally just make it rule of law. You violated this, now you're getting punished for it. If the company has standards, which I doubt Disney does, they would, punish him under those company standards as well. But since we know that barely any broadcast company has such moral standards in play, and they only care about money, if somehow Jimmy Kimmel can make them more money in the future, he will be back, and it will seem like he did not have any sort of like punitive outcome for his big mouth. I have seen people, just regular citizens, go to jail for saying stupid shit, and these guys won't even get fined for it. At least that's my personal opinion. Once again,
that's my rage too. That's where my
funny
rage
thing
came
is
from.
that
Is that
everyone wants to compare England with certain things. It's like we don't want to become like England, okay?
No,
the UK,
no,
because
not at all
of how bad things are. And the thing is, yes, we should not overcorrect. We probably will. That's going to be the reality. But the main thing is, this is the thing I've said before, and I'll say it again. We need both sides. Okay, we can't just swing the pendulum one side and stay there, because both sides have crazy shit. And they also have good ideas. Well, at least they used to. And that's the reason why, hey, hovering towards the center is probably the best place to be, because you're not going to overcorrect one direction or the other. But at the same time, it's like we don't live in a fucking sane world anymore, okay? We're getting to the point
being in the
where
center works if you can deal with people that have got sense on either side. But if they don't have any sense, you can't.
exactly?
You have to be able to have a dialogue, and that involves being in the same reality.
Yeah, you can't.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's ultimately what I'm getting to. The issue that Ripa has made some great videos on, by the way, talk about the whole thing with, where they're at, and the whole idea. How do you reconcile with people that literally want to unlive you, that will cheer for your death, that want to destroy your life?
You don't.
And
right
the
now,
one
it's not
person
that you
that wanted to
can't.
have
You
the
don't.
one person they wanted to have that wanted to have the dialogue with you.
Yeah,
You took
That
it.
one person you killed. You
Yeah.
murdered.
Yep.
And you cheered it on.
Yeah.
There were people in the
and the rest of
crowd
us are
cheering it
disgusted
on.
by that.
Yeah, that's the problem. You don't treat. Would I
But-
have been
but
very
even
happy
here-
if Biden had
even
died in
here-
office? Yeah.
Even now, as we're talking, we have people like that who are more upset about what happened to Jimmy Kimmel than they are what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Well, they say, that a line has been crossed for free speech. I'm pretty sure the line was crossed the week before with a different event.
My favorite
But
comment
them-
from Az's video. Let's ask Charlie Kirk about what he thinks about free speech. Oh, we can't.
Yeah. Like everyone's going on these news programs talking about this is dangerous. This is dangerous. Like a guy was just murdered last week.
Bring the temperature down.
Well, and to Tox's point about the authoritarian right, I wonder, and I'm not saying he's wrong. I wonder to the degree what might happen there, because as we've talked about before here and other places, on the right, conservatives generally tend to be a little bit more individualistic than progressive Marxists on the left, because the group dynamics is not. It's very hard for us to coalesce around an idea because we're not groupthink type of people. And I think that in this particular case, we're at a point where the line's been crossed, and it's a matter of whipping them back into a point where they're back in their box, where they appreciate shame and self-control, and then I think it stops. I don't see the right going to the extremes that the left will do in terms of we want you dead. We just want you to stop.
The Inquisition, what a show.
The
The
whole-
Yeah, but
Crusades
that was
killed
how
a
many years
lot.
ago, and it wasn't even here in the United States.
Okay, good friend of mine was working for a oil company in Texas, got fired because he didn't go to the same Baptist church as everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It is on both sides, folks. You can't hide from it. So if you accept that, know that there are crazies on the right. And when you start seeing that fucking crazy come out again, like it did in the 80s and in the 90s, and you put a stop to it, I'm okay with that. What happened with the left here, I'm just using left and right as labels. What happened to the left is they didn't stop.
No.
They just kept going and going and going because they need to keep getting elected. And this is the only time I'm really going to go after boomers. These boomers have been living so long and having less kids. They have a powerful voting bloc. So you got jackasses like Dianne Feinstein, who was basically brain dead for 6 years as a senator, and Schumer.
Yep.
And these Republican jackasses that lock up Thune, Johnson. God, you got these people being voted in, locked in, and Brahma made this point, locked in by a generation that is too old because they had too much power as a voting bloc. You don't have these young people coming in. That's why I'm glad to see Brandon Herrera running. Okay. I'm glad there's people like Thomas Massey in there. I'm glad there's younger people that are running, all right, who have this FU attitude. I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad I'm seeing that. But
I am
if the
too.
right starts policing themselves when we get to that point, I'll believe that we have turned a little bit of a corner. I doubt it's going to happen, but that's just based on my experience of seeing it 3 or 4 times previous.
Yeah,
Right?
well, we
And
can only
I wouldn't
hope for
consider
that.
anybody on this panel on that right.
Well,
When the
Tom,
bell curve's right down
but-
the middle, you
Tom-
guys are slightly over there.
But
But
we are
you're
seeing
also-
some of those voices get stronger, and that's who we've been calling out. Fuentes, Candace Owens has gone a little
What
bit
was the
insane.
one chick that you responded to? That she said that this kid's father was at fault. Oh, what she used to be on Newsmax. It was the blonde chick on Twitter, Brahma.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah, I
I
can't
don't
remember her
even know
name.
who
She's
she was. She was on Newsmax.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, he should have done this." And all. I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
Well, see, but
and-
here's the problem with this whole scenario too. So, like I said, we can't lose context of what happened last week. And like we all said, Charlie was the moderate voice of the right. There was a lot of people who probably felt like they were much further to the right politically than he was. Yet they killed him and celebrated his death. So that sent the message to a lot of people that, hey, you know what? This guy was moderate. This guy was essentially the ideal right-wing person you wanted to be, and they killed him. So what is even the, I guess you could say, I want to say what's the right word here? Like what's
the point?
Exactly.
What's
What's
the
even
point
the point
of
of
aligning
pretending
with
to
them?
be moderate for the sake of political discourse when this is what the political discourse is now? It's like we're here now. Like we can't take back what happened. Like we're here. So now we have to figure out how we're going to navigate where we are right now. And like I said, I personally, based on what I saw last week, now I will say this. I think that guys like Kimmel and other guys getting in trouble for what they've been saying over the last week or so is actually a good thing. And you know why? It's because the thing that was driving a lot of anger on the right is that the left was doing things like this and they were always getting away with it. And now that people are seeing that, okay, there actually is at least somewhat of a consequence for some of these people. People are getting fired. People are getting held accountable. I think that's cooled off a lot of anger and resentment that's still there, but I think it's cooled it off a bit. Let alone, like I said, if Kimmel had went up there yesterday, made it 10 times worse, inflaming the whole situation. Like I said, you can only expect people to be reasonable to a certain extent. And I think we passed that line a week ago. And the more you keep pushing it and more you keep pushing it, you can't just expect everyone to become reasonable until a breaking point happens. And I feel like we're probably already at that breaking point, if not dangerously close to it.
We are
And
we
on
are
the
at that
trajectory
breaking
that we're
point.
on, I'd be willing to bet that within another week, they're going to be celebrating this guy just like they do Luigi.
Yeah, probably. The thing is,
Oh,
we
yeah,
are
I'm
at
sure
that breaking point, Jacob. We absolutely are at that point because the far left, they are not going to play the same rules. They'll play their rules and expect you to uphold their rules no matter what. They will bully you up, down, left, right, and center and expect you to maintain it. But the minute you criticize them, that's not allowed because their game is a one-way game. It's never meant so they are on the other end of that game. But holding Jimmy Kimmel accountable, honestly, is, in my opinion, the least productive way of handling this. Handle the media because the media pushed this narrative so hard of Tyler Robinson. Was that his name?
Tyler Robinson,
Robinson. Thank you. He was the one that they pushed into being a MAGA type that people like Kimmel run with it. They set that precedent for them to run with it. What was it? Was it called the Smith-Mundt Act that got overturned by Obama?
Yeah.
We need that reinstated so these outlets don't get to run away with this information. They don't get to be infotainment. They get to be info or entertainment.
That has nothing to do with the media. That has more to do with the
That was
government.
more
and
government.
the
The
government
government is not
propaganda.
allowed to lie to you, which is
Yeah, it's the FCC regulations is what we're particularly talking
But
about.
we need to have these media outlets. We need a version where these outlets can not be legally propagandized because wasn't that where outlets from the media became legally, where it became legal to unleash propaganda?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about like
Well,
something
they
like
did
Project
through-
Paperclip, which was the CIA's
Patriot
attempt
Act
to
did a lot of
infiltrate the,
stuff.
yeah,
They did it through the NGOs because
Yeah.
with that being reversed, then the NGOs were allowed to fund basically
Right.
companies, media companies that could put out whatever opinions they wanted to. Octos Alias in the chat said, wait until the state decides that something you say is against the rules. We've been living it for 5 years. We all saw the Twitter files. We saw Joe Biden's administration pushing Facebook and Twitter to ban anybody. We lived through the COVID stuff where we couldn't even say words on this channel.
We couldn't say COVID for a period. We had to use code names like the COOF or the brown
I said
bottle
something
flu.
was
or something.
That is our
completely
whole
fucking
point.
factual, and they shut us down for a week.
But
And
that's
you
the thing,
proved it.
though.
fuck those guys.
Okay, and
The
that was one thing
argument-
I pointed out in my video.
Yeah.
Was the fact that it's like, where were these people for free speech during the time of COVID, where we couldn't talk about what was going on with it? Where were they during the Twitter files when we found out there was collusion between the government and Twitter, where they actually had members of the CIA, former members of the CIA, working for Twitter, basically, and they were being told who to go and quiet. I mean, this shit has already happened, and to we've been there. We've done that, and we've already had the scars, man.
Yeah.
Here's what happened to Jimmy Kimmel in a nutshell. Okay. I went to Starbucks. They make bad coffee. And now I decided to go to Dunkin'. That's exactly what happened here. These affiliates went, we're not going to be able to make any money with this guy in this time slot now after he's done this. We're making so little. So we're going to go with Godzilla films because they make us money. All right.
Yep.
That's what happened. He didn't get canceled. Nobody on the right stood up and said, oh, God, he sucks and all that stuff and wrote any kind of campaign. Nobody tried any of that. What they did is they didn't watch his stupid shit. And then when he said something really dumb, they decided we can't survive this money-wise. Goodbye. He did this to himself.
Yeah.
All right. And anyone that wants to argue that the right or anyone has done anything to him is full of shit. He did it to himself. Okay?
Yeah, they're going to try and push that narrative, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and
but he did it to himself, and he's suffering the consequences of his own actions.
Yeah.
So this has nothing to do with any of this bullshit that's going out from there. It is 100% Jimmy Kimmel suffering from the consequences of his own actions.
Yeah, this is 100% the true definition of consequence culture. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and this is the issue, is that the left, because they had the levers of power, they were able to go and enforce their version of consequence culture or cancel culture, what the fuck you want to call it. And they suffered no ramifications as a result of that. The issue, what they're kicking and screaming is the demon that they fucking summoned and unleashed upon the world is being turned on them. I mean, back in 2023, Rolling Stone wrote, and well, they had an article
Why
written
cancel
by
culture is good for democracy.
right. Why cancel culture is good for democracy is the guy who wrote that article wrote the book, The Case for Cancel Culture. He's on Piers Morgan all the time. The guy's name is Ernest. And I'm really curious to see what his thoughts are with what's going on right now, because, you know,
Didn't he write another article recently which completely contradicted that? The same guy?
Was that his? I thought that was somebody else's.
Oh, was it somebody
not
else's?
sure.
Certainly Rolling Stone published one that completely
I know Rolling
contradicted it.
Stone published
Yeah.
it, but I don't think that was him. I
That
think
is
it was a
Rolling
different author.
Stone that just laid off a whole bunch of people.
But the
And
issue
remember,
is
Rolling
the fact
Stone
that
also put the Tsarnaev brother onto the cover and glorified him, the Boston bomber.
Yep.
Mhm.
I remember that. Well, here's the bigger problem here too, because this is kind of in the context of late night television, because late night television has been dead for a long time. Like late night television died when Leno and Letterman both left. Like it's been dead since then.
Craig Ferguson was the last good one.
Because ever since then, especially over the last 9-10 years, it's just been a myriad of left-wing comedians going on television complaining about the Trump administration for 10 straight years, and there's no end of how many late night comedians do this. You got Kimmel, you got Colbert, you got Fallon, you got Myers, you got Oliver, you got Stewart, you got, what was the guy's name, Trevor Noah before him, Samantha Bee before him, that Michelle Wolf chick who had a show for a short, like it's all just circles of like left wing, we hate Trump, we hate the administration, and that's all it's become for 10 years.
With zero accountability.
Jacob, the model was dying anyway, Jacob. I mean, it wasn't just that. The model was dying.
Part of it too is they got away from being entertaining. You know, it's like the last 8 years, late night has been nothing but Trump. And people have had enough of it, man.
And Jay Leno a couple of times has come out and said it's like, where late night comedy is now is in a bad place. He needs to go back to what it was before. And people like John Oliver, of all people, went in and attacked him for having that opinion, for saying how dare you say it?
So why do you think Johnny Carson picked Jay Leno as opposed to Dave Letterman?
Mm-hmm.
Because Johnny Carson, he had political views, but he never brought those stuff on.
No, he didn't.
Because he realized he was entertainment.
And he took shot both sides too. And that's what
he shot at both sides.
And
that's the thing. He evened that out.
with that.
And there's video
Republicans
of him,
buy shoes too.
Yeah, well, there's video of him. There's video of Carson talking to I think it's Mike Wallace from 60 Minutes, where he specifically says, "I'm an entertainer, and I have this power. I have this exposure to so many people. I could very easily abuse that and start telling people what they should think and how they should vote. I mean, but that's not why I'm there."
Mm-hmm.
And to Jacob's point about us turning a corner, I want to go back to something. This, for the longest time, we see leadership in the party, we see celebrities, we see news people, and we know they're crazy. Okay, you'll spout off how many times we make fun of Mark Ruffalo and AOC and whoever. This last week, we've seen our best friend, our neighbor across the street, the guy we work with, all of these people who are normal general population people lose their minds celebrating this murder. It's not just the celebrities, the people that we don't care about. These are people.
It's the doctors and nurses you need to be fucking concerned with.
Exactly. And I think the mask came off so much on that people started to realize, oh crap, what have we gotten ourselves into? I think that's a
I
piece
will
of
take
it.
a step further here because, like I said, last week I was in Las Vegas and San Diego for a week. So San Diego is my hometown. I was born and raised there, and I went back there. I was at the airport when the Charlie murder happened, and I was on my way to San Diego. I saw the faces of people who were finding out about his murder and just the glee in their face and just the happiness like in their face. And this wasn't a small group of people. So I know like over the last few years we can kind of we've heard the saying that, oh, well, social media is not real life or anything like that. It's like I saw the faces of people. I was in San Diego for several days after this happened. It's not just a small minority. Like it is a large grouping of the modern left wing, and it's probably a lot more than we were comfortable with admitting.
We actually kind of have a number on
The
that.
numbers
Did you hear?
came out.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they asked students if they think it's okay to unalive somebody for their point of view, and 43% of the student body said yes.
That's
Yeah.
fucking frightening.
What was that?
And
And to be
Very
fair,
frightening.
it's
that
not
from?
just the young people anymore.
Utah, I think it was.
There's a lot of
find
adults, middle-aged people that I saw who had the exact same sentiment. So as much as we want to throw the Zoomers under the bus, it ain't just the Zoomers these days.
No, it's not.
Well, this is what I've been
Crowder
trying to
actually
say. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Hey, and let me get this out. Crowder actually released, or he talked about the numbers, and he was talking about on the right side. He's like, I don't remember what the percentage was, but he's like, even on the right, in my opinion, this is too much. Basically, people think that we should settle our differences with violence.
That number was 9%.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even be 4 or 3%, let alone 43%.
Well,
Right.
it's also, to be fair, it's also how a question is asked. Is it ever okay to have political violence? And if you have a revolution or you have a despotic government, then a lot of people on the right are going to take the question as that. Because this poll, I don't know that it was done after Charlie or before, but it may not have been jaded by what happened last week.
Yeah.
It
Well,
may have
and-
just been people are taking the question for what it is.
This is true. And to touch on something that Jacob had said, the internet is not a real place was something we tried to fight against for a really long time. We tried to keep it just not real. But after the events of the scandemic and the various like societal divisions that happened, social media became reality. And that's where we ran into the major issue is everyone decided that the real tangible world you live in is nothing compared to the intangible and volatile world of what I will refer to as social media combat sports. And the problem there is when and it is a bigger problem from the left because they just happen to scream louder. It's just a lot of people on the right realize that the one who's screaming the loudest typically has the least amount of power in whatever they're screaming about. So we shouldn't listen to them in the first place. But the problem there is our kids, and I even saw this in my own son, my child, who I have raised to be the single most independent thinker in the world, started getting sucked into the social media worlds and like influenced by it to the point that like he started talking to me about animal rights. And I'm like, bro, if I have to go out there and skin a rabbit just to show you that it is not a 5-year-old child, I will. But he started asking me questions and I started instilling in him the same things that this panel has instilled since 2019, since we first came together during that crazy ass time. And that was, you should never listen to the people on the internet, but you should always fact check for yourself whether or not
100%.
that's true.
Yeah.
And the
it's
problem
reason
there
why
is,
I always tell people, do your own research. Don't take my
yeah,
word for it.
it's not taught in schools anymore. And I realized that through having a son in high school, that when I was in high school and stuff, they pushed, you have to do your own research.
it's
You have to
critical
figure
thinking.
everything out.
Critical
Exactly.
thinking.
And now it doesn't exist. We barely have requirements for these children to even learn how to read. And now they're being force fed every bit of propaganda that they can get through these social media sites that the left controls. X is a slight exception, except for the fact that, I don't agree with the leadership in a lot of various ways. But it's at least the facade of free speech on X.
Yeah,
It's-
I would agree on that.
It's such a fine line between
It-
stupid and clever. Yeah, it's just
You
like
know,
words.
Yes, exactly.
Mr. Talkslot, you're right, and I think that kind of
Yes.
solidifies the point why it's very important we kind of pay attention to what our children are looking at not would say every single thing at every single point in time, but you have to at least have a decent idea of what they are paying attention to at all times. A decent
And-
idea.
Yes.
And when the
Because
funny part,
it doesn't take a long
The
it's
problem-
not a long road for them to turn the other direction
The
and
problem-
start falling down that rabbit hole and start
Mhm.
becoming like them. Look what happened with Tyler Robinson. He grew up
okay.
in a MAGA family, and it wasn't long before he became the other side.
But that's the thing. Okay, that's where I personally lay a lot of blame on modern day parents. And I was guilty of this for a really long time. And I was not closely monitoring what he was doing online, but at the same time, I wasn't actually there to like instill proper thinking processes on questioning all the information and stuff like that. But I also got wrapped up in the social media stuff and got distracted from my actual real life duties. That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons that I left all of the social media shit for so long, because I didn't want it affecting my life. Even my family was calling me out on the fact that I'm too wrapped up in the politics. I'm too wrapped up in the goings-ons of the world. And it was causing interpersonal relationships, real relationships, to suffer. And I think that that's one of the things that we're seeing today going unchecked, is that people get too involved, even especially the parents of these children who were the first gen social media experiments tease, if you
Right.
will.
Well, okay, I'm gonna push back a little bit because first off, we don't know what his home life was like. You know, we weren't there.
This is true.
And the other thing too, and this is something that Brahma has said before, is that as a parent, you can only plant the seeds because just because you're raised in a conservative Republican household
You
doesn't
have to
mean that
nurture
your
it,
children
though.
are going to be conservative Republicans.
Well,
And
you have to nurture
But
it.
also, what Toxalot is saying is the same thing that's happening in my household to a degree. Not being the example as well as planting the seeds, like an everyday in your face example, also doesn't work.
Well,
Yeah,
and you
and-
also
and-
have
and I
just
get
pure
that, but-
teenage rebellion too from
That
you
is
know
true
somebody
as well.
who's raised an adult now. Like I mean,
Yeah,
it just comes with the territory.
that also is a thing.
Well,
Yeah,
and
I
I,
agree.
I did want to
Rebellion
make
is a
one
thing,
point.
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say rebellion is a thing, and just
Mhm.
because you're active in your kid's life doesn't mean that you're going to see everything.
True.
Because
No.
how
It's
many
not.
of you as teenagers or kids were really good at hiding shit from your
I was just gonna say, what's the old adage? Is like, oh, we never knew,
Okay,
right?
now
Like
wait
we
a
had no
second.
idea. In a million years, would I never thought my kid would have done that or said
My
that. or
mother, to
thought
this
that.
day, 80 years old, still tells me things I thought I'd gotten away with.
Right.
Okay,
We know
they
you
notice a
descrambled the cable
lot more,
box.
and I knew a whole
Who
lot
broke
more.
that lamp in 1972? It was you, motherfucker.
She said that not quite like that. I
I
did
know,
want to make a
stealing that
point
from Eddie
about
Murphy,
what,
but yeah.
that was great. But Toxlot was going with what's funny in an odd way. We wouldn't have known, parents wouldn't have been woken up to what all this indoctrination was happening in the schools, which
Right.
is very much Brave New World. You need to read that book and be scared.
Yeah.
Very much Brave New World.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have known that if these assholes hadn't tried to lock us down.
The shutdown.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a
And
good
to
point
do
because
all
in the
that stuff.
70s and 80s, the parents had the opposite problem, right? If anything, they were too
Oh, you put the
disconnected
spirit
from
out
their
of bullying
children's
up,
life.
Right.
Yeah, like they were
Well,
too.
and at the same
that
time-
image was funnier than anything that Jimmy Kimmel's ever done.
That was going to be.
But
the
I
joke.
really
So
want to
that's
get
the
this
funniest
out
thing
before we
Jimmy's
get
ever
too
done.
fucking far away from it, because I
Yeah.
am going to go here pretty soon, and I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of things they want to say about it, and it's a very kind of, it's a broad, subject to get into, but like this, I think the bigger thing is here is this: I respect and appreciate what Talk said earlier about not going too far to
Oh,
the other
yes, she
side. 'Cause
did.
I am definitely one of those people that's in the middle. I am a freedom of speech absolutist, but with freedom of speech, much like being Spider-Man, it comes with a responsibility.
Yeah.
And with that responsibility, and this is something that I learned when I got my FCC license and I got fired from radio, is it's a big deal. It doesn't matter, even if it's just something as small as a swear word. right? Like these things are there in place for a reason. And the reason broadcast is different than cable, is different than internet, is different than satellite, is that when you're talking about broadcast radio or television, anybody can tune in. The idea is that a kid who has a radio can hear what you're saying, or anybody who has a TV setup that can pick up broadcast television can see and hear you. It's open air. Exactly the point. Once you put it in a situation where it's cable, satellite, or even like we are right now on the internet, you're putting what is basically a gateway or a portal in front of that, to where as far as the FCC sees it and the federal government sees it, they don't have any. It's like the open sea or the Wild West, however you want to put it. It's like they have no real regulation here, right? Like there's certain things that I think they can still step in on, but it's very, 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 very fucking little.
Well, even on cable, they didn't do a ton of cussing outside of the premium channels.
No, but that's because that's because of
10 to 15 years,
and a lot of that is because of sponsorships. Because the whole thing is they wanted to be able to attract sponsors, and that's the whole thing with YouTube Gate and all that kind of crap we've dealt with before with the the ad gate or whatever you want to call it. Is that whole thing?
Gate is what they called it,
or whatever it was. Yeah,
but that's when we self-policed a little bit.
A little bit, and that's the thing, and that's kind of part of what freedom of speech is self-policing yourself a little bit.
Okay, but
it's like I can think whatever the fuck I want,
really,
but I can't go into
kids though.
Right, and the thing is though is about the freedom of speech is I can think anything I want, I can say anything I want in certain settings, right? Like that's the whole point. You cannot go into a crowded theater and yell fucking fire if there is no fucking fire though. That's the basis and the idea of freedom of speech. You have the freedom of speech, but you don't have the freedom to incite. And not only that, in the sense of broadcasting, you don't have the
I will correct you with one thing. The fire thing is actually not true.
It isn't, but it's a point, right? Like I get it. It's not actually a law that's on, but what it is to point out an example. And let me guarantee you one thing: it may not get you in trouble with the law necessarily, but it will get you possibly fined.
Well,
if you did do something like that,
that's for sure.
Well, it'll definitely get you thrown out of the theater, and if somebody got hurt in the process of that, it'll get your ass sued. And that's what all these things that come together.
You say
and
bomb on a plane and see what happens.
Oh, that's
exactly
different.
A better example yet.
I know.
A better example yet, because at this point, you have a situation where you're inciting fear, violence, inciting anything like that amongst a large group of people, and that's panic. And that's basically what Kimmel did here. No matter how he wants to dance around it, no matter how they want to reframe what he fucking said, he said what he fucking said. And what he said had little to do with Trump. And this has nothing to do with the Trump part. It has everything to do with when he said that the murderer was MAGA. Because it doesn't matter how he put it in that respect, that he could dance around and come back and try and say, oh no, I meant this. And of course they are doing exactly what you said. You said on the screen there, Jimmy. But at the end of the day, everybody perceived it in a certain way. And once it passes that threshold, it doesn't fucking matter, because that's the Streisand effect, right? Like it's the same kind of thing. Once it gets out in the ether, it's much harder to get the truth out there once the lie gets out there. And this is why I was talking about what Tox was saying, is because I think it's important. Is because I am very much for free speech, but I don't like to be lied to. And that's one thing that we have seen nothing but in the last 10 years. And I think that's what Nick was getting at too, is that we've seen nothing but propaganda and fucking lies out of our news, to where I don't even trust anybody. I don't trust any fucking body anymore. And that's a problem, because you used to be able to go to at least the networks and know that you're seeing the actual fucking news.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing I'm seeing right now. It's like social media is trying to make Trey Reed a thing. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but Trey Reed is was like a 20-year-old black student at Delta College that was found hung. And they're trying to say that he was lynched. There really is no evidence either way as to what the fuck's going on here. It's really kind of weird. But you had this lady make a video saying he was beaten and bruised and had broken legs. And it's like the coroner report initially said there was nothing, no cuts, no bruises, no nothing. And they're trying to I don't know.
There was another guy the day before who was a white guy that was hung, and I think he had his arms broken. I'm still trying to get it all clear on that, because there's been so much murkiness around it.
Yeah.
Yes. But I mean, and Tom, what you were saying, I mean, the propaganda thing has been walking a razor thin edge of incitement.
Right.
whole fascist Nazi, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we
It
were
could
saying the same
easily
thing
be
when
argued that is what could drive somebody to kill.
absolutely,
any of
and
us.
that's the same thing we were saying when Trump was, the attempted assassination on Trump, right?
Yes.
We were blaming the media then, and I'm standing by that now. That's the same reason that this happened here, and that's where we're getting to this point. And this is where I agree with a lot of the bullshit, where it's like, look, it may be hypocritical of what some people are doing on the right now, but guess what? You called down the fucking thunder, and now you
Stepped
got
over
it,
the
pal.
line.
Yeah.
You stepped over the line. You're telling people to turn down the volume after you just killed one of them.
Yeah.
And not to throw you older gentlemen in the bus, just not anyone in particular, but I'm just saying that we also got to keep in mind of this. This is not the same media from the 1980s and the 1970s.
Oh, no, you're
absolutely not.
right. You're
And we
absolutely
understand that. And I've said that before. CNN 24-hour news cycle destroyed this country.
Well,
It
not only that,
fucking
it-
demolished its fucking news.
The point I was going to
as
make
a
is
whole.
that corporations ate up all the media outlets. So it's like you go back to like say
Well, that too,
83, you had about 31 media companies creating everything you were watching on television and movies. Now you're down to
That
about
too,
4
yeah.
because they've all just consumed each other.
Yeah.
So except you have Disney, for instance. It's not just ABC. They have all the
Right.
other outlets associated with Disney. NBC has all their stuff. Warner or Paramount, wherever's going to come out of that merger, they have their outlets too. So the reality is the majority of stuff you're watching on television is coming from like 4 major giant corporations that aren't actually media
You're not wrong.
anymore. Like,
No,
they're not.
it's not.
Actually, I think a lot of the news you say is controlled by like 80%
not
of.
a good thing.
I think 80% of the
lose.
I was gonna say, I think 80% of the news that you see and hear, I think, is controlled by one media corporation, isn't it?
It's like
Very
2 or
tightly.
3.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
G&E.
and-
Well, it's like
G&E.
Penske owns was it Hollywood Reporter, Variety?
Penske, I think, is one of the ones I was thinking of. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they own a lot of
And
outline
Hearst.
outlets when it comes to like entertainment news. But it's like, yeah, you have I think 4 or 5 corporations within this country that owns the majority of like TV and radio and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's
and all
it's
of our
like
news
those-
is sponsored by
Well-
Pfizer and Johnson
Yeah.
and Johnson.
Exactly.
and
Well, you have
Moderna.
that too.
And
But real
that's
quick,
the
I just
other
want to
thing.
say, oh, sorry, Jason, real quick, just let me say, because the thing
Yeah.
is, this is like bringing up Hearst as communications part of it, but like the actual, a person, right? Like the whole point of a lot of these rules and regulations that we have now is because look at a lot of the shit they pulled back in the day with just newspapers.
Yeah,
Right,
yellow
we're talking just
journalism.
Mhm.
just regular newspapers. Look at where we
Local
are with
newspapers.
internet now and how fast information can spread. Like, I think that's a bigger thing that they have not taken into consideration too. Like,
Well,
as opposed to where a situation where like 1 or 2 people would have read a Hearst paper out of 10, you have a situation where how many out of 10 people have seen that Jimmy Kimmel clip now? 8, 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
It
Anyway,
hit
sorry,
Facebook,
Jason,
it
go
hit
ahead.
Instagram,
I
it
was
hit
just gonna say,
Twitter.
'cause with all of the consolidation of ownership, you still have at the local level, because this goes back to what we're talking about with the advertisers. I have been in the room where the conversation happens between sales and news. Oh, we can't run that story because it makes this advertiser look bad.
Mhm.
Those kind of
Yeah.
conversations still happen at the local level. And with that in place, you're still going to have some local control, even if it's a Nexstar station or Hearst in this case, or Sinclair or Gannett or whoever. The local programming is still going to be a factor. It is still going to affect things, and I think that's what's feeding into the Kimmel thing. Is this local response as far as the advertisers don't want to have anything to do with this particular program. So that gives me a little bit of hope that it's, there are regular, normal, everyday people that are still out in the smaller markets, especially.
Oh, there's
Who
tons
are
of most
not gonna
people
put up
are in
with
the center, Jason. Most people
Yeah.
are. That's the thing. A lot of people, especially who are, let's just say, online law, and that's a lot of us. I'm guilty of that too. We got to remember, there's still a lot of people who have a lot more of a surface level perspective on how they see things, and even with that surface level, they see how crazy all this is, and they're just at the surface level. When they're seeing how crazy this is and it concerns them, that is actually a good sign that they're saying this stuff for what it is, rather than seeing the direction of trying to justify, let's just say, Charlie Kirk's murder, because just a few years ago, I thought it would have gone in the other direction when everyone in the world made it seem like it was going to be all about the summer of love brought on a global stage, which never actually happened.
Well, the other side of this too, talking about the local side of this, because I had to go through and because there's no actual number out there that I could find of how many ABC affiliates that Nexstar owned. And I looked, and I couldn't even tell you for Sinclair, and I think they may even own more.
Yeah, they between the two of them, they own like the majority of the market.
Because I think Nexstar is the second biggest, and I think Sinclair's the biggest.
Right.
And I think the situation here is like, this isn't just, the heartland, right? Like, this isn't just a bunch of network channels in fucking Kansas and Tennessee and shit like that, and other places that want to just, that you'd be like, oh, of course they don't want to show Jimmy Kimmel. No. 3 of Nexstar's channels were in New York.
Yeah. And like
that's one of
Illinois
the
as well.
biggest some of the biggest markets. So like, you can't turn around and say, oh, this is just the fucking rednecks bitching. No.
Right.
There's clearly, this was pushed back from other places. And that's the thing. Once you start fucking with money, politics has less to do with it. Right.
Yeah.
like that's what people don't understand here. And that's where I'm getting, like, I love Valiant's tweet because it speaks to the whole thing. No matter what defense anybody has on this thing, it's on Disney's shoulder at the end of the day, because they could put Jimmy anywhere they want. They can put him on any network. And to me, it looks like they're not only stifling him, they're trying to just mitigate any fucking damage going ahead.
Oh,
right,
and they've had a lot of damage at this point. I want to
they're
get this
only
from
doing it because
Sorry,
of the damage
I'm going to get
they
going
have.
here soon anyway. I don't want to keep. Who did
70s
we
has
lose?
to go to.
we
lost Corey.
Corey had to go.
Corey
He
had to
wasn't
go.
feeling well, so he messaged me, and I
Tom,
didn't want to interrupt.
before you go, Tom, have you got the Penske file? Are you're in possession of the Penske file? Do you know the reference?
No, I
Yeah,
don't,
thought-
but I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might know the reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
All right. I want to get this real quick from Mitchell Oates. He says, reflect on this, guys. And this is kind of what we've been getting into. If the left isn't afraid of publicly unveiling and celebrating Kirk's death, you think they're going to have reservations about doing the same to any of us? No, I don't. And that's
No,
the
they
point
won't.
where I brought up the whole thing with the doctors and nurses, because it's like, that's one of the biggest thing that's very concerning is like, oh, you're a Republican? Yeah, we'll give you the best care possible. Wink, wink. I mean, you don't know if you have an operation and you have some flaming leftist as your doctor. Are you actually going to make it off the table?
Well, we ran into this during
And that
COVID.
was
How many-
another thing, comics, that Jimmy Kimmel said and was very deeply serious about, and not joking about. Oh, if you're vaccinated, here's the door for this. If you're not, well, here's where you get to go.
no big deal. Guess you're gonna die. Yeah, that's basically what he said.
He
Yeah,
literally
and
mocked.
He should have been fucking booed off the air for that. Honestly,
Yeah.
He literally
How many
mocked people who he thought was unvaccinated after they die. He went on multiple times during that year. He did that. So
Well, and how many times did we run into finding out that there were people in the medical staff who were sitting there saying, "Well, if you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't get any care from us."
yeah.
You know, we went through all of that too. I mean, this is stuff that we've been through all like
The mask came
went through
off a
this
lot of
5
people
years
during
ago.
that period. And that's
But-
pun intended.
Jason,
Well-
it shows you how deep this has been infected into every facet of our lives. It's
yeah.
almost like James McCarthy was right about what he was hinting at decades ago
Joe
about these people. Jim McCarthy. Thank you.
Joe
Saying, hey,
McCarthy.
people could take
Joe McCarthy?
Yeah.
They could take over every
Jim was his
aspect of our
brother.
lives, and you don't know it. And now they're showing themselves, and they're everywhere like they are a damn scroll.
Well, and the other thing too, Christy Carlson Romano, who was the voice of Kim Possible, she got on Instagram. She got on Instagram today, and was basically, you guys are talking about, YouTube and all of these other places where things are available, where kids could find stuff, right? Chrissy's talking about, she's got a kid who's very, very interested in this thing called smiling critters. And she says the YouTube algorithm has changed again to where now, if you're not careful and make sure that you keep a line of demarcation between YouTube and YouTube Kids, YouTube is not keeping them separate as much as they used to. So if you click on something and then the kids click on something and somebody clicks on something, then you could get, the kids popping into something they shouldn't ought to see. And she said that her kid has been very interested in this thing called Smiling Critters, which apparently is some kind of a horror thing. They're cute, but there's some, I've never heard of it, but she's looking at this like, this is all leaving my house right now because I just figured out what this actually is. And your kids should not have anything to do with it. But these are cute. They got merchandise. They got stuffy animal things or whatever. And it's apparently is some pretty intense horror thing, but it looks like kids programming.
How
So
to get through
speaking
to
of cute
Everywhere.
and furry, 70s has to go.
Cute
And
and
we'll
furry.
get
yeah.
Tom out as well.
Pretty
if he's
furry. I
willing.
get to go before Tom. Tom, I get to go before you.
You get to show Tom your
I
ass.
get to- yes. I'm trying
like
to.
I haven't seen his anus before.
Yes, indeed.
Alright.
And at least you didn't take pictures. That was the main thing.
Well, duh.
Well, it's actually been a very interesting conversation tonight. So thank you everybody for that. It was these are interesting times with some serious things. So it is interesting to take part in those types of conversations. However, probably don't do too much of that on my channel. Although next Monday's show, postponed from last Monday, will be about this movie, The Battle of Britain.
Battle of Britain.
Because
I
the
have that one.
it is the 85th anniversary of the Battle of Britain. So we'll be talking about the real events and also going over that particular movie and those air crew, those brave air crew who gave their all, the few who gave their all to for the many. So
The few
so
that prowled
that's-
the Marines. Oh wait, no,
Oh,
different
no.
army.
there was no Marines involved in this one, just guys in planes. So yeah, that's next Monday's show. So look forward to seeing you all there in one way or another.
Thanks, 70s.
Cheers.
And on to Tom Connor's cheers.
Slipping and sliding.
What?
Tom's the
No,
man.
I'm leaving, I guess.
You said you wanted to leave.
Yeah, I guess.
Did I get
I'm
that
ready to
wrong?
leave. No, you're fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Well, I'm sure I'd feel much worse if I weren't under such heavy sedation, but still in all, I mean, you've got to be realistic about this sort of thing, you know.
Spinal Tap 2 is okay. You like
You
that?
saw it? Did you see it?
No,
Anybody see
I
it?
haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I
But
liked it. It
you
was alright.
liked it?
Continue.
Yeah.
Wasn't nearly as good as the first one, but
Well, nothing's gonna be. Lightning in a bottle.
wasn't woke really or anything like that, or it didn't like try to keep recreating shit from the first movie or anything like that. So
Higher quality than Zoolander 2 to Zoolander.
possibly I didn't
Zoolander
watch
2 was so
Zoolander
bad.
2.
Zoolander 2 is so bad.
Yeah, I didn't like
So
the first
bad.
one, unfortunately. So or
I like the
fortunately.
first one.
I love the first one.
I think
Yeah, so I never
comics,
watched it.
Brahma, and Culture and I would get in a gasoline fight accident and die. I think that would
Probably.
be.
And then get
Actually,
you
Brahma would
Googleized.
survive.
All right.
I'm a good Googleizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego going that.
Hey, you'd be Brahma walking out. Yeah, see, that would be the thing. I'd be sitting there burning to death with with comics, and you and Culture would walk out. See, we told you, assholes. Walk off.
Yeah.
Anyway, my appearance has been brought to you by Soul Glow.
Yeah, baby. You're gonna make me cut you off, aren't you?
I don't
No.
think you'll get nailed for it. I played it before.
Okay, we're good. Comics get nailed for it because comics likes getting nailed.
Whatever.
Ah.
It's
Carrie
Have
Carrie
fun,
Smith.
kids.
Oh, look at that. Carrie's the chat.
Hey, Carrie.
Bye,
All right.
Tom.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Later, Tom.
Oh, good. Did you play it? Oh, he's not even here to do his own outro.
I just got tired of yelling at everybody.
Some of us are going to talk at the same time. Oh, sorry.
And then there was.
All
Can
right,
I
wanna
say
give
one
this-
more thing in response to Mitchell, the other
Sure.
chat?
Sure.
Do you
Or
want to
do
be
you wanna talk to
indignant
Carrie
when we
first?
do it?
I'd have to go find it.
Oh, you don't need to. Mitchell was
Okay.
the one that said, they'll do it to all of us too.
Yeah.
does any? I mean, the whole thing is this is it is a terrorist act because we now have people, and I myself I'm concerned about the number of right wing and conservative people that are going to be gathering for the funeral. Because while the actual event may be well covered with Secret Service and everybody, you've got a whole bunch of people that are big names, big voices on the right, just walking around a city.
Yeah.
Probably not as secure. And, you know, they're going to, I mean, Tim Pool has been talking about it. I mean, I don't think he's going, but
no, he's not. He said he wasn't.
Yeah, most people are going to go because they don't want to be cowed by this. But, I mean, Sunday's a real concern.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and then, like I said, how is this going to escalate even further if we have, you know, mass protests and demonstrations and violence at Charlie Kirk's funeral because, oh, he's a racist and a fascist and all this other stuff. And it's like, as much as the left is doing a whole bunch of whining, complaining right now about how they're being treated, they're potentially going to escalate this even further as the days go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, man. I thought about Sunday might be concerning. I'm crossing my fingers that nothing fucking happens.
That's what I'm praying for.
Yeah, because it could be the moment where, you know, this country burns if things go very poorly.
Everything lines up. Yeah.
So there's, all right. This country, there were people who were willing to put their life on the line for freedom in this country. So in the first battle, I think Concord, I can't remember right now. Pinochet would know. He didn't have that pesky quintuple bypass, whatever. He would know. One of the first people to die in the Revolutionary War was the richest man in America at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's putting yourself out there.
Yep.
And if you're not willing to die for the freedom, then it's not really freedom. You're just a coward.
Yeah.
You're just used to the spoils of what this great country has become.
Well, I think the other thing too is
there's
not
willing to die
everybody's
and there's being stupid about it.
Yeah, not everybody's made of sterner stuff,
right?
Well, kind of
you know
thing.
that Second Amendment's probably the one we should have defended the most in these states and stuff. I mean that's where I focus because I know that's the one thing that allows you to equalize. Why do they want to take guns away from minorities and from women? Because then they can't defend themselves.
Yeah, they're more reliant.
And that's how you control a society and control a people. We've learned that over thousands and thousands of years of this warlike culture.
Well,
and it's only when you can defend yourself.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna get Carrie's comment. Then we'll hit some soups and we'll switch topics to the article that Brahma pulled up, or I had pulled up about the the political violence and what percentages people agree with
willingness.
So, the willingness, yeah. So Carrie Smith, how you doing? Hope you're doing well, lady. So what up, guys? Watching on my drive home, did you see the Babylon Bee say they were outraged to hear Kimmel got fired for being MAGA Republican?
I didn't see that one.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I'll have to go dig that one up.
Love the Babylon Bee. They are fucking hilarious. All right. Well, we got quite a few built up here.
There's a lot.
All right. Haywood Jablomi gifted a membership. Thank you, sir. I went to Copy Kitty. TVG Monster for $5 says weirdos now want Disney to fire Chris Pratt. Frankly, Chris doesn't need Disney, but they need him because Star-Lord is one of the few good ones, good MCU heroes left. Yes. Yeah. Disney's fucked at this point. They really are. I mean, they're have the right
be boycotted by the left now
and the right, which is so fucking funny.
It's great.
Is what it is. Haywood,
maybe time to put in a short.
Yep. For 2 Canadian pesos, half glad you mentioned Pinochet's helicopter tours. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that he's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
it was one of two. One of two. I'm sorry. Glad to hear he's on the mend. Okay. My bad. I totally misread that. I was like half glad. Okay. 2 of 2. Pretty nurses do help. I work with a few. Right on, man. Also, Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. For what it's worth, I am out of ICU and listening to the show from regular hospital bed. Totally setting the phone down now. Tonight is a listen in show. Yeah, I got it, dude. I'd say you have more important things to do, which is on the men. But as long as we entertain you while you're
go recover in the hospital, you weirdo. What are you doing?
Yeah. Southern Belle for $2. Sent Pinot Talks magazine spread as distraction. Okay. Whatever that is, I'm kind of afraid. She also says for another $2, Jimmy Kimmel broke FCC rules. They knew. Yeah.
Yes.
And they don't want to admit it.
Did you hear about?
They want to blame. They want to blame Trump. They want to blame authoritarianism.
Did you guys hear about Destiny? I know this is kind of like a derailing, but did you hear about Destiny?
Doing like his own change my mind type thing?
No, he got demonetized on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Good.
Oh, did he?
I'll put it in the private, but he got demonetized on YouTube. I'm not joking. It's actually out there. I'll put it right in there.
Couldn't
right
happen
now.
to a nicer guy.
Yes, you get counted as a breaking news, if you will, but yeah, it's right there. Put it in the private.
All right.
He's been a soulless prick this whole week.
I know.
Yeah.
For years now.
One of the worst of the worst.
Mod Air for $1. I was watching Metatron's videos on his takedown of him. It's pretty fun.
Him and Hassan.
Yeah. Mod Air for $1. My opinion is Jimmy's firing is a way to get rid of a show that gets no ratings of the 18 to 49 demographic. That's probably losing them $50 million a year. He had ABC. He and ABC are liable, trying not to get sued. Yeah.
There's rumors right now. I mean, there's a video going around. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but they're claiming that they're just moving furniture out of Jimmy Kimmel's studio right now. So I don't know if that's an indication of what may come down the line or if it's been confirmed, but the people are passing around the video, Joe.
That's
oh no, Damian Lindehoff said he won't do anything with Disney anymore. Oh no.
Oh no.
This is Jimmy Kimmel. Oh.
You mean we're not going to get his Star Wars movie?
Oh no.
Oh no.
I can't believe Trump did this.
How awful. Let me feign my
The next thing you tell me, they're going to delay the Ray movie again.
Oh, no, that's not coming out. That's not
that's never happening.
All right.
It would probably be more of a I would say it'd probably be more of a threat if they threatened to release that movie. If Kimmel
that's true. Yeah. That would be an FCC violation to have that movie just come out.
And as it turns out, not to derail too far, but apparently we were supposed to get a Mandalorian trailer today, and they delayed it because of all this Kimmel stuff.
Oh no!
No. Oh.
I'm glad because it means we don't have to talk about it today. All right, Saber to the Raptor for $2. Send an email of one ship tonight. All right, we'll definitely pull that up. Nova Zero for $5 Australian. If someone tries to hit you with a stick and you hit them back, that's not martial arts or self-defense. That's comedy. Slapstick comedy. That was a good one. Primark Vulcan for $4.99. I'm under no obligation to unify with people that want me unalive, and I have no problem celebrating my unlife and celebrating my own life. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Like I said, the murder of Kirk was bad enough. The celebration and the reaction to it is what has caused a lot of people to just go completely cold on this issue. And like I said, you can only push people to a certain point where any kind of civil discourse that existed before then, you can't expect them to hold on to it after what they've seen over the course of the last week.
Well, it's threefold. It's the murder, it's the celebration, and then it's the denial by the mainstream media of all reality.
Yes. And that's a big fucking problem. All right. Toxic Man Flu for $5. Super chat number 5. Yep. We're getting pretty close. We're at 12. I know our big spenders aren't here tonight.
If you count the Rumble, you're probably pretty close.
Yeah, that is true. TVG Monster for $5. The Inquisition fought back to the Turks who were taking nations' kids. Yeah, they also did some bad stuff too. The Inquisition, what a show.
It depends on which one you're talking about, because there was a few of them.
Yeah, that is true. All right, Seaman, the Seaman. It's been a while, dude. Hope
Comfy
you're doing well.
cushions. Hey, Seaman.
For
Seaman.
$10 big dollars. That's nice.
Says,
Where's
how
Slappy
much
for
is
that?
is it really left versus right and not globalist elites versus populist nationalist? We have a uniparty for the longest time, and Republicans were only a controlled opposition until Trump. Dude, I don't know. Left right is just easier to say, but I mean, it's a lot of things. You could say it's libertarian versus authoritarian. It's good versus evil at this point. I mean, I don't know. It's just.
I would personally argue that it's probably more of a good versus evil side of things more than left right, if we're being honest with ourselves. Because, like I said, there's a few knuckleheads on the right now that are doing some pretty shameful stuff too. You know, we talked about Candace Owens earlier, so yeah, I mean,
Nick
there's a few of them. Fuentes,
and back. Oh fuck! I hate Nick Fuentes.
Ian Carroll, and
Oh,
Tucker,
god!
So don't get it twisted. There are
Insufferable.
some absolute jackasses on the right too.
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
Like I said,
Yeah.
but they're
Bondi.
not. To give them credit, they're not celebrating murder at the moment. So
yeah.
As far as the globalist versus nationalist, that kind of thing, I'm still of the opinion that the left is trying to burn the country down so it can recreate it from the ashes.
Yeah. Oh,
Their
and
own
the
power
image.
structure.
They want to get rid
Agreed.
of the Constitution. It's the reason why they want to get rid of free speech. You know, now they seemingly rediscovered it for some reason. We know that they're not for free speech. We know that they are not for guns. They want to torch the Constitution, and they want their communist utopia. That's not going to be a utopia. Most of these people are going to end up dead.
Right.
like I said, they're hypocrites with no standards. They're celebrating Kirk's death because he supported the Second Amendment, and now a week later they're trying to pretend like they're fans of the First Amendment. So it's like,
that's why calling them hypocrites is useless, because they don't care that they are being hypocrites.
Exactly.
Well,
they've fully leaned into not only rules for radicals from Alinsky, but also Cloward Priven. You know, from the 70s, these two educator types who basically said we need to overload the system in order to break it so we can remake it in our own image. And then you had some radical civil rights leader, and I can't remember his name. It wasn't Malcolm. It wasn't King. It was somebody I'd never heard of. Fully embraced it and ran with it in the 60s. I think somewhere like 64 or 65. But if you look up Cloward Priven, this whole thing is out of their playbook.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. John Wayne for $10 says, with all due respect, I know for a fact that the religious right has never, ever, ever had the level of power and influence that the radical left has today. It will take generations to undo this. Well, my pushback on that is that the right has always been, for the most part, been kept in check. So I don't think they've never gone to the extremes that the left has been allowed to get to, because they've always been kind of checked, where the left has not. So that's my pushback on that.
Well, we have a tendency to take down our own, where they
don't.
They circle the wagons and protect whoever
They
it is,
celebrate
no
their
matter
worst.
what.
Yep.
Yeah.
Deeple for $1, people complaining about right embracing cancel culture doesn't understand that 9/10/25 changed the rules. Not fighting back effectively means that conservatives are condemned to, and this is part one. Well, and it's the problem is that the left has graduated to assassination culture. And meanwhile, the left has graduated to assassination culture. The right is basically using cancel culture as a shot across the bow. And it's basically, if we don't start using their tactics and hold against them and holding them accountable to their own standards, they're going to keep doing it. And it's a natural escalation at this point, which is the issue.
I will say this, with everything that has happened over the course of the last week, at this point, you guys should be very, very fortunate that people on the right only want your jobs at this point. And if you continue to escalate this, and we're at a point where there's not really much further you can escalate this before it gets ugly, again, be grateful that they're only after your jobs at this point.
And I would say it's not just an assassination.
They're not after their
culture,
jobs.
It's a death culture.
Yeah.
Just
100%.
real quick on the point, because it's It's not just Charlie. If Charlie hadn't have happened, we were going to be talking about the
There
young
was
girl
somebody
on the
else.
train that was stabbed to death
Yeah.
by a guy let out 14 times. And James, that answers your question in the chat. It's not always the guns. It is the person who is wielding it. The gun doesn't do anything on its own. I mean, that's such a stupid argument.
Yes.
It is.
Well,
I can leave my
is
gun on the
it
table
working
all
out in
day, and it's
England?
not going to do anything to anybody.
There's actually more murder that happens in England.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just all knife to the point that they're trying to ban all knives.
And it will just switch to something else, like sharpened spoons. or
Remember when that
whatever.
was an extreme example? Now we don't have a such thing as extreme examples anymore.
Well,
Now everything is a consideration.
Well, and the thing is, the natural inclination of humans is that we use the weapon that is most available to us, right?
Yes,
Which is guns in the United States, which is
Available
the reason
and
why we have
effective.
high gun violence. You remove the guns, it's just going to be something else. You remove the knives, it's just going to be something else. And eventually, where we're going to get to, you're going to have to start cutting off people's fists. I mean,
Do you want
come
to ban
on.
cars?
Yeah.
You want to ban trains? You want to ban the subway? But
Ban fertilizer?
we could just ban the 4 cities where most of the crime happens.
it comes down to
That'd be
this.
great.
Well, not
The
only that, like I
majority
said,
of bad things that happen to you are your own damn fault.
yeah. Well, not only
And
that,
just face that.
Yeah.
and not only that, the elephant in the room with that whole discussion is this: it's like the people who you now know want you dead are actively complaining about gun rights, the fact that you shouldn't have a gun, while they're also advocating possibly murdering.
Yeah.
You. So
Well, the other thing too, okay, is that when they always bring up AR-15s, but you know what kills more than AR-15s? Car accidents, heart attacks, cancer. I mean, it is
Jaded
so
nurses.
fucking minuscule. But the thing is, they never bring up, eventually, because they want to ban AR-15s first. Handguns are the most commonly used weapon involved in shootings. That's just the reality.
They don't care about the
And-
reality. They care about the perception that a bigger gun
Yeah.
looks scarier to them. And because it looks scary to them,
Mhm.
we had to get rid of that, even if it's the lesser thing.
But
They
remember
care
too,
more about the optics of things than the actuality
Mhm.
of things.
what
That's
gun was
true.
used in the
Perception is
shooting?
not always reality.
30-06
A 30-06
deer rifle.
Yes, basically a bolt action rifle that the guy didn't even own. He took it from his grandfather.
mhm.
And you
And
don't
I
know
guess-
whether it was in a safe and he had the code. You
Access,
don't know where it was stored. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Don Lemon on Piers Morgan today who was like, well, if we had passed the assault weapons ban, this Charlie would probably still be alive. And it's like, so you
No, he
understand
wouldn't have.
nothing.
yeah,
Why would he
legit-
still be alive because of that?
Yeah, since when has a criminal been like, oh, no, I can't. Oh, man.
No, I'm
the guns
talking
are
about the
illegal?
fact that he doesn't even know that a bolt action rifle is not
A bolt
even
action
covered
rifle
under
is
this
You're not
legislation
wrong.
that he's
in all 50
talking
states.
about.
Brahma,
But
you're not
even
wrong
then-
in that sense.
Well,
But I'm
one
trying to
time.
put it-
Yeah.
All right. Brahma's not wrong in that sense, but I'm trying to put in the perspective, since when is a criminal be like, oh, well, that's illegal. I guess I can't do that now.
100%.
It's a criminal.
Yeah.
But even
Well-
then, we're still giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're just unknowingly stupid when they say things like that, outside of being deliberately misleading. Because, like I said, ultimately they're just trying to disarm you. So he
Yes.
probably knew that gun law wasn't going to stop what happened to Charlie, but he said it anyway because he wants the perception to be out there that, see, guys, guns is the problem.
Well, it's part of that whole repeat the lie long enough, people
Mhm.
believe it's true.
Yeah,
Every weapon is
Confirmation
an
bias.
assault weapon.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
weapon's an
and the
assault
thing
weapon.
is,
And-
what you end up
It's
getting as a result of all this is you get the UK.
Mhm.
This is what happens when the government
Mhm.
takes your guns away.
Right. And if they call you Nazi long enough, often enough, where people believe it, that justifies us being able to kill you.
And
Well,
what
yeah,
was
and-
Jimmy Kimmel calling people for about a decade? And people
Well-
started believing everything he said to a point
Mhm.
where it was no longer a joke. Everything he said, that was an insult towards Trump and his supporters and people on the center or people who were independent. All of it.
Blair White had a great comment, which was, I guess, Nick had
What
to
happened?
go.
Nick
Wait,
went
what
offline all of a sudden. I'm
Oh, he's
betting
been
he
offline.
hit back on his browser.
He probably did. Blair White had a great comment. Now he's back. Basically, it was, the reason why they call you a Nazi is because they want to kill you.
That's
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
They
So
don't call you a Nazi
dehumanize
because
you
they
to the
think
point.
you are one.
Well, they want to call you a Nazi so they can kill you.
So it's okay for them to kill you and other people won't.
so you can
So-
backtrack on any argument you have that
Mhm.
that threatens their arguments. So they're
It's
hoping
Tim-
that they'll put you into submission. That argument doesn't work. Someone actually tried doing that to me last week, and it didn't have
James,
a.
look at the fucking gun stats, dude. Stop buying that fucking bullshit. You're retarded, dude. You know nothing. We look at this shit all the time. The vast majority of
240,000
gun
Americans involved in
violence.
shootings every year. That's wrong.
Yeah, it's like those numbers are so fucking wrong.
Who cares what he says?
The vast
He's just
majority of
our guy
gun
lives in a
violence is
bubble.
it's fucking stupid, dude.
It's most of that stuff's made up. And
Yeah.
A huge amount of it's self-inflicted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
what I was
is.
getting at. I was trying to find a way of phrasing it. The vast majority of gun
I think
violence is
that
basically people
works.
unaliving themselves.
yeah.
Yeah, and they're trying to lump that in with crime. And the other thing too is the obfuscation of the mass shooting numbers, because whenever there's a spree killer, which is what it actually is, they call it a mass shooter because technically it falls under the definition of mass shooter. But your average Sunday in Chicago is typically a mass shooting, but they
There's a
try to
mass
ignore
shooting
those
3
numbers.
days a week in Chicago, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The thing
Just
is, mass shooting is defined as there are more than two
Two
people
people,
in the same area as a gunshot.
right?
That's what they've
And
called
it's
that
not
stuff
death;
as.
it's basically injury. The number of people that were struck. is
But it just
how-
so
is
here's
what
how I
defines
see
that.
it, James. You're trying to render me defenseless so you can kill me.
Yep.
That's how I see your
Well,
side of the
yeah,
argument.
he wants you dead too.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much what it is.
Yeah, and
You
just
don't trust
taking guns
criminals.
away from people doesn't mean they're gonna not kill themselves.
Yeah, when is making illegal stop a criminal from doing the thing that they want to do, regardless of the thing? I hate it in some cases, but it's also the objective truth. There's a lot of things that are illegal, and yet every criminal still does those illegal things.
Yep.
All of them. All of them.
Mhm.
All right.
Especially, like, how can you guarantee us we won't be in the hands of a tyrannical government?
Well, okay, so I'm
Well,
gonna
20 years down the
let
line.
me get this out, okay? So these are the kind of people my American Indian grandmother warned me about. When they want to put your name on a list, when they want to take away your right to defend yourself, then they can put you together. They can force march you across multiple states. They can
put
not
you on a
feed
train,
They can put you on a
ship you cross
train,
country.
ship you to a camp. They can ship you to a reservation. All right. So that's where my stuff comes from people that were actually, my grandmother actually faced that.
Guns
So-
are lousy at protecting anyone. Almost every shooting is stopped by a gun,
Oh,
Yeah,
whether
I'm
it
done
be
with
by
this.
the
that is such
But
a
when-
the person
stupid-
himself
when-
or the
when a
good guy
lady
with a gun.
When a lady prevents herself from getting raped
Comics.
by using a gun to shoot the rapist,
I'm doing it.
is that supposed to
Enough.
be lousy at protecting her when she was able to get rid of the potential rapist? Tell me how that's lazy. I want to hear how that was lazy when it prevented
James,
her from
pop
getting
us a
raped.
$100 super chat or I'm going to ban you. 5, 4, 3, $100, man. You have gotten more than enough airtime. 3, 2, fuck it.
Don't ban him. I want to laugh at idiots.
All
I
right,
don't
Deeple.
because I want to have a conversation. Also, it's 11 o'clock. I got to go to bed.
Fine.
All right, Deeple, for $1, which means we're going to have to go over those stats real fast. Condemned to being murdered without resistance. What are you seeing now is what we are simply doing the minimum to survive because the words "our violence" crowd are going to push buttons forever. Yeah, and that's the thing that is so stupid. Is silence is violence, words are violence. Where do you think this fucking escalates to at this point?
Okay, all right.
You're
all right. Hold on,
complicit
hold on,
if you
hold on.
don't agree with me.
So Mark Santos said, ban. Resident voice goes, laugh out loud. Lindsay goes, do it. And then when I ban, Resident voice goes, bye, Felicia.
All right. Okay. The Lead review for $5 says Rich Barnes, the People's Pundit, is going to
Oh,
poll.
Richard Barris.
Oh, sorry, Richard Barris, the People's Pundit.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, I immediately thought it was Barnes. for
He streams a lot with Barnes, the lawyer.
some- okay.
That was in the first meetup. Yeah.
Okay. The People's Pundit is going to poll on this, but he said there needs to be a cooling off period to poll properly on political violence. Got it.
Yeah, so Richard Barris has been pretty much spot on with a lot of the polling that he's doing in his models, and he's taken a lot of crap for it. So he's former military, good dude.
All right. TVG Monster for $5. It's just $5. Thank you, sir.
That's the
Toxic
man.
Man Flu for $5 says comics did a video. My feet are cold. I know. There we go. Mod Eric for $1, sitting on New Scum's desk right now to be signed. They're going to ban Glocks in all guns like that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Colin Noir release a video. I was going to go watch it, but I just didn't get a chance to. That's dumb.
I will say this. I went back to San Diego for the first time in about 4 years last weekend. Going back pretty much cemented that I can never go back and live there in any true capacity. Like
that's interesting, Jacob, because I hear it's still better than all the other big cities in California. No, I'm not saying that as a way to make it seem okay. I'm just saying I hear as far as living in like big cities, whether it's Sacramento, Bakersfield, LA, San Diego, I still hear it's the best one to live in.
Orange County is still the only spot in California that still feels like old California. San Diego, there's too many extremist wackos there. And then, like I said, we don't really talk about Sacramento, LA, or San Francisco. We know about those places.
And
my wife's family still lives in Sacramento, and I think we've been there a couple of times now. I haven't heard a lot of the horror stories, but it seemed okay when I was there. But we were only there for a couple of days at a time. So
how do we make California great again? Because I remember when I was in middle school, that was my goal of wanting to move to California.
People need to stop voting like retards there. That's the problem.
You know what the biggest problem with California is right now? Rolling the Wretched is there and making it just so gay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got.
He is uber San Francisco gay, and he's probably listening right now, and he can't do anything about it.
Probably
saying that,
Nick.
So,
if you continue the deportations, maybe the red in California will actually have a fighting chance.
Wasn't that Reagan's fault actually for the
partially?
Yeah. In the 80s.
But part of that was also a promise that the border would be closed after the amnesty, because that was supposed to be an amnesty that also closed it forever.
So he partially contributed.
You don't fucking do the amnesty shit. That's why.
So he was partially complicit then. Okay.
Yes, he did the amnesty.
Wow. Fuck.
And Bush tried to also.
Yeah, but like Brahma said, Reagan got betrayed by Tip O'Neill and the guys in Congress who basically didn't follow through on their part of the bargain.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And that's when things have been bad since before the Civil War.
All right, Jaffo for $4.99 says Iger is a political animal, and most animals don't lay awake late into the night, feeling troubled for their prey. Nick Weiser for $2 says overdue culture casino reach around.
Well, I think the other thing too on Iger being a political animal, I think he still has ambitions to run for president at some point, and he's got to save his legacy.
I would have
president
agreed
of
with
the Tampa
that.
Furry Club.
I would have agreed with that in 2020, but I feel like he's way too attached to Disney. How many times has he said he was going to step down, and he keeps on coming back? I don't think he ever wants to let go of Disney. It doesn't help he has a bunch of yes men on his board as well, because they're all people who will basically just say yes, master, and it's all good. So what's the point of him doing it now at this point?
Right, Tina.
He may get tired of his toy now that there's people telling them that they're not allowed to just say whatever BS they want to say.
20 years of holding onto a toy sounds like true love. That's way beyond.
I'm saying after this week, I mean, he just lost to Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, but he's lost our things before.
Well, the succession we've had the occasional news story talking about the succession talks and speculation about who's going to be the next CEO. So that's actually going to happen. I think Iger is actually going to step down this time the problem that Iger
Oh,
has,
sweet summer child.
the
Yeah,
problem
right.
that,
Thank you, comics.
the problem that Iger has is that by the time he does step down, Disney needs to be in a winning position, whatever that looks like, in order for him to parlay that into some kind of a political thing. He's still young enough, he can still do politics, but he can't leave Disney a toxic dump, scorched earth stuff. He's got to save as much as he can.
How old is he?
I thought he's like in his 70s.
Yeah, but I mean,
Granted, he looks okay for his age. I'll give him that. He's still
he's in
very
pretty good
spry.
shape.
Well, he's
Yeah,
got to
he is.
outlast 3 more years of Trump and likely 8 years of Vance.
Yeah.
And
I
I
don't see that
don't think
happening.
after Vance, there's going to be another boomer in the office, and I don't think Gen X is ever going to take over.
No, God,
No. Yeah,
It'll go
we're
straight
screwed.
to the millennial to millennial.
Yep, we are fucked at this point as Gen
Unless
Xers.
somebody comes out of Gen X that suddenly garners a ton of support.
Probably
Well,
not.
it ain't gonna be me.
Yep, not gonna be me either. All right, irate specialist for $1.99 in solidarity with Jimmy Kimmel. The View should strike. Yeah, well, it's funny. The View didn't say anything about the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing today. I wonder why, guys. I really
Well,
do. I wonder why.
And if they start, they might use it as a way to say, "Hey, look, there's now this new right wing version of cancel culture. They do it now, and it's bad." So they might use as a way of saying, "Hey, look at all these artists getting canceled," so they can use the right wing cancel culture as a scapegoat. So we gotta be vigilant with how they frame this up, because they might use the Kimmel show. This was just the final straw, the scapegoat, whatever you want to call it. They might start doing that to our shows and blaming it all on the right, even if it's not actually true.
Well, I think
let's be honest here. The right, I mean, the left are only upset about this whole Kimmel situation because if Kimmel's gone and Colbert is gone, they'll be forced to watch Seth Meyers. That's why they're so angry right now.
Isn't he like kind of tanking too at this point?
Or Gutfeld.
Yeah.
I have been to a taping. Well, actually, I've been to a test screening of the Seth Meyers show. Okay, we were in New York many years ago, doing all this stuff and everything. Trump's first presidency, and you go. They tell you can't say anything. All you can do is laugh and applaud. You can't say anything back or any of that. They're doing all these test jokes, and it was just Trump joke after Trump joke after Trump joke, and it was falling flat. Nobody in the 100 people that were there was laughing at any of this stuff. And he finally pulled out a joke that wasn't a Trump joke, and people laughed. And this was in 2017. We were already tired of it then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just fucking stop. And you're getting a feedback loop on social media of people doing stuff just to get the engagement to continue to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you're seeing they're cutting down on the bots. YouTube is cutting down on the bots because they can't sell advertising because like you're not giving me any real views, because what you're telling me the views are is not translating into people buying our products. Right?
Right.
So people have been tired of this for a long time. And I go back to my beginning argument. The majority of people are in the middle, and the people on the fringe, we just tune them out for the most part. And I could say that, dealing with this stuff with COVID and everything's been going on, and I know a lot of stuff that goes on. This stuff is trying to face this, trying to face that guy that abandoned chat. All right. 2 years ago, I'd have let it go because he's a pissant. I don't care. Now, fuck it. I don't give a shit. You're in my space now, giving me a bad day. Fuck you. You're gone. I'm doing the same thing on Twitter. All right. Robert Meyer Burnett, I just blocked him. I did just not follow him. And on this one, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. The stuff that he said, I'm like, just fuck off.
His MAGA takes?
Yeah.
What
It was a
did
MAGA.
he say now?
He said it was a MAGA. We know that a MAGA, when this happened to Kimmel through his own actions, he blamed MAGA because it was a MAGA guy that killed Kirk and all that stuff. And we're like, okay, whatever. At that point, if he's ever on FMT,
he said it was going to be the beginning of a upcoming collusion that will influence elections. I just wrote, I'll take things that won't happen for 300, Josh.
Yeah. So
And it's true. It's one. It's
and
not.
I like a lot of the stuff that he's done.
Screenshot it.
It's like Rob Reiner. I'm sure Spinal Tap didn't have any of the stuff in it, but I just, please shut up. Please just shut up. I understand you're human too, all this stuff, but you make money in the entertainment space. You are making money, trying to make other people like you. Don't piss off 80% of the people.
Right.
It's
And
funny.
that's what's in it.
Rob almost gets there, and and he was so close to being completely red pilled during the pandemic when he was noticing a bunch of this stuff, and I kept seeing every now and again he'd say something and it was like, you're almost there, Rob, you're almost there, and then he'd pull back. And I think some of this is the same kind of thing. He sees things through a certain filter on some topics that does not allow him to go all the way to the logical conclusion of what he's talking about.
Right.
And it's some of it may be confirmation bias or whatever it is that he's leaning
He's in a bubble.
into. But yeah, he's in a bubble, and he can only see out certain windows of that bubble, and the one that really gets where he could be over the finish line, he can't see it.
And to be honest,
a lot of people
he's in a bubble that just bumps into our bubble.
Yeah.
Quite often.
I was going to say, with a lot of people, there's always that one barrier that keeps people from looking at things logically. And normally you can kind of tell what that barrier is. And that's how we get here.
Yep. All right.
I
The
do
dead
have to
man.
run out of here before you guys do your last one. So you can do that last one, then I can get out of here.
Yeah, I'll be joining Jacob.
Go ahead,
too.
man. I'll finish this off while you guys
thanks
leave.
For having me. As you know, I
Sorry.
haven't been doing a whole lot of streams. I've been trying to pick up pieces in my private life, but I'm in a position where I can kind of move forward now. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to rearrange my streaming schedule. But Tuesdays is still the ballroom. Every Tuesday night, we talked about the Charlie Kirk situation in great detail a couple nights ago. And then Sundays is the Bible Lens. So we'll go back and do episode 108 of that show on Sunday nights. And then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do in between. So it'll be a very interesting couple of weeks for a multitude of reasons. So just check me out over at Society Reviews on YouTube and on Rumble, and check me out Society Movies on Twitter. And that's all I really got at the moment.
All right. And we'll also get Nick out of here as well.
Thanks for having me. It's been good. Go sub to my Bonded by Metal channel. It's been fun over there. Clobby's Comic Shop Saturday night, Toxic Tuesday on Rumble only. Be talking Van Wilder. It's gonna be a hugely gay time. Great movie indeed.
Don't eat the cannolis.
Yeah, I got action from Tox last Saturday night. You didn't. I'll brag about it. And
It was great.
The crowd saw it.
Oh, did Krigler give you some of his nut cream?
No, not yet. We're gonna.
So
get
Krigler
there,
gave me and Mrs. Flu multiple nut creams. So I'll take some pictures.
I got
I'll send you.
photos of Eric K's meat a few hours ago, but I didn't get any of Adam Krigler's nut
Eric
cream.
K's meat.
I have
Okay.
a problem because I want it all. I don't want just the half. But
Dude,
I
that
have
Caffe
some nut
blend that
cream
he
to
had
get
was
you.
fucking amazing, man. That was really
Oh,
good
his
coffee.
old coffee. Oh, dude, I loved his big black coffee. Trust me, I was a big fan of that BBC when it was running. So
He said
I
he's trying to work to get it back.
Oh,
So
good,
I
good.
hope he can get it up again. I really hope he can. So we'll see. But anyways, it's been fun. It's been good discussion. And Jimmy
The
Kimmel.
nut cream cometh.
Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel, he's a douchetarian. Who cares? He'll be fine in his life, but at least we want to hear about his shitty show. So yeah,
Yep.
just
Someone had
stay
to have sex
vigilant.
with Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, stay vigilant. Don't let the government take over in our lives, and let these people die by their own rules, not our rules, their rules. Thanks for
Exactly.
having me, comics. It's been great. Yes, I did say Big Black Coffee. That's right, BBC. Thanks
With
for having me.
creamer.
Good night. No, I'm a purist. I like it big and black. Good night.
Oh, damn it. I didn't realize you were hitting the button, dude.
What?
There we go.
All right. Multiple of us are going to talk the same. Oh shit! It's just me. God damn it.
Wah, wah.
I knew you were going to do something, so I decided not to do it. All right.
I'm trying to figure out what Tickle Trunk wants us to actually call them anymore. Because
I
when
know.
I first started, he said, you can't say liberals, even though that was the common terminology that's used throughout most of media. And
Well,
we
I
went to
think
leftist. Now he says we have to be more accurate than that. I'm not using a full sentence every time I try to describe the left. And I like Tickle Trunk. It's not yelling at him. I'm just
He's
trying
a
to figure out.
Canadian.
I think
He
we
is,
could
eats
call 'em
maple bacon.
cultural Marxists.
Yeah, we
I
could
mean,
call them communists, but that doesn't describe all the left. It just describes the furthest left.
Well, I like to lump
I mean, there's
the edges together into one general word, fucktard.
Well,
I prefer
'cause
that.
The issue here is it's not just leftists. I think you're seeing this among moderate liberals as well that are like, yeah, it's fine with him getting killed.
Okay,
it's
yeah, we
not-
have.
it's- yeah.
And then we've seen a whole bunch of them also say, okay, I can't be in that party.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. We've seen quite
He
a few.
says
that are
this
like,
here in America, yes, but the rest of the English-speaking world isn't the USA. And here's what I
get that.
say to that: I don't give a fuck about the rest of the English-speaking world.
Right.
I don't.
We
I'm sorry.
left them for the we
I
left
like
them
you
for
a
the-
whole lot, but I want you to come to
So do I.
America.
No.
And in fact, I would love to trade Robert Meyer Burnett for you. We need to start getting something better from Canada here, man. This whole Celine Dion thing, fuck you guys. Fuck
right.
you for that.
If
All
we're
right.
going to make that kind of trade, can we send John Campia instead of Rob?
I was gonna say, John
John can go. John can
John
go. Rob,
can go.
Rob,
I think Rob, we can reform.
I think
Rob-
Destiny
Rob's
needs to move
almost
to Nova
there.
Scotia.
Yeah. All right. All right. The Dead Man for $4.99 says,
Destiny
"Hi guys,
needs to
no
move to a
comment. Just
prison."
want to support the channel. Thank you very much, sir."
Thank you,
Yes.
Dead Man.
Destiny
We didn't
apparently-
want Alan Thicke, Tickle Trunk.
Alan Thicke.
Toxic Man Flu for
this close to getting
$5.
banned, buddy.
If I pay for most of this Friday, I want comics to play Pong. Dude, I'm not playing Pong for 3 hours.
There
Not
it
playing
is.
ET
They're
for 3
playing
hours
guitar.
either.
ET. You can
E
easily burn up 3 hours. with
ET.
Oh my god! All right, Mr. Tickle Trunk for 2 Canadian pesos. Keep the Spurg here, please. I love them.
He wanted to play with the small mouse in chat that we
Uh-oh.
got rid of.
I think
That Spurg. Okay.
Lindsay, I think I finally found something that maybe we disagree on. Alan Thicke was hot. I don't know about that.
All right.
I don't
Radioactive for $5. Basically, a character lifting some weights, saying "Keep it up." Thank you, sir. All right, Toxic Man Flu coming in for the save for $5. Seriously, you're playing Pong, not Galactica. Pong.
That's right.
Blurred Lines was his son, Robin Thicke.
Yeah. Alan Thicke was pretty cool.
All right, Toxic Man Flu with another $5. I'm goon get a.
It's supposed to be
fraud
gonna. I'm gonna get a fraud alert because
alert. Okay.
I saw you had 4 minutes left and I was like, bam, 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 and then somebody snuck in and got the 20th on me, and you'll pull that one up, and I will tell them that they can kiss my ass.
All right, Tickle Trunk for 2 Canadian says, "Dude." Toxic Man Flu for $5 says, "Can't type."
Mm-hmm.
Tickle Trunk for 2 says, "Bruh."
Dude, leftist.
Leave review.
That's the one.
For $5.
He's the 20th one. He, she, whatever.
Okay. I'm going to believe Bob Iger is going to leave Disney the same time KK leaves Lucasfilms. Yes, that's kind of how
That's
I
exactly when that's going to happen.
feel. Toxic Man Flu says that he is gay. Why would you say that about yourself, Tox? I don't understand.
What? I didn't say that.
TBG
Hold on,
Foster
before you
$5.
teach me honest. Tox, knowing my taste in men, I think you question my sanity. No. Okay.
Okay, Jaffa for $1.99. I'll run for
TGV.
president, Gen X president. All right, President Jaffa.
You know what? I know Jaffo, and I know just how sick and twisted he is, and I think he'd be a very interesting president.
Dude,
He'd
he's
be
going to
definitely
draw.
be better than Biden.
There's going to be a lot of dicks.
Honestly, the auto pin. So they do an auto pin thing, and it would just be him with his dick in the
dicks.
auto pin, and he'd just be signing all this stuff with his dick. That
No,
would
I was going
be
to say the
Jaffa.
auto pins.
No,
is
his
gonna draw
signature would
dicks.
be a
His
dick.
signature would just be a dick. Yeah.
All right,
But-
John Wayne.
But
for
the
$10
question is,
says,
does it have ball hair or not? You remember
Hair?
that?
No.
It was the mockumentary about the guy that drew the dicks on all the cars, and it wasn't his because he draws his dicks with ball hair. Okay, we're sorry.
All right, got it.
That was
Never
2 years
saw
ago.
that.
All right, John Wayne for $10 says, I had to unsubscribe to Robert because he might be a decent person, but I guarantee you that he knows plenty of people that cheered last week, and he's still friendly with all of them.
I don't know.
I mean,
about
they're
that.
friends. I don't know. But you know what? I don't want to hurt the guy.
Yeah.
And if we met somewhere, I'd still talk to him, have dinner with him.
Well, and
It
it's one
just-
thing to be friends with people who celebrate the murders. It's another thing to maintain cordial business relationships.
Right.
So, some of that stuff could be one or the other. You never know.
That is true. I mean, he does work in the industry, so there's that.
And just because
tough.
he may still be talking to him doesn't mean he necessarily agrees with them.
Yeah. All right. Copy Kitty for $2 says Tox and his new brand proclivity is entertaining.
New banning.
Banning proclivity.
Yeah, but it's expensive. It cost me a lot to ban Darskivia over on Brahma's channel, but it felt good.
I didn't even know what you were donating to.
That was so
Mecha J, oh my God, the cock pen. That's hilarious.
Aren't you glad I didn't take away your wrench when you told me to?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was completely that was showing just how much I do not like Little Chad. So I apologize.
All right. GJJ celebrating 7 months as a member.
Thank you very much. That was very nice.
Says, did you hear about the Fox reporter who said the homeless people should be given involuntary lethal injection? I saw some shit on Twitter about it, but I personally have not seen it.
Let me bring this up real quick. Argentum, I have to interact with people I don't like and be civil. Me too, all day. And when I'm doing it for 12 hours plus a day, I'm not going to fucking deal with it here.
Dude, it's not nice to talk about me like that in front of me, dude. How many times have we talked about this?
You know what? If I was taking shorthand, I'd be talking to your miniature ass, but I'm not. Okay? All right? Do you want some more of that gay wine? Huh? You chug the gay wine, dude.
I was
Before we get too far away from Jaffo being president, Mitchell said, would that make him a dictator?
Oh, there it is. Boom. Oh, man. There's member chats. Holy crap.
Okay, first off, like I said, I haven't heard that dude say that. That's pretty fucking retarded.
I haven't watched the video, but it was Brian Kilmeade from Fox on Fox and Friends or Fox in the Morning, whatever.
What did he say?
Being sarcastic or something, or making a joke? Or
I don't
what?
even know. He did come back and apologized and backed off of it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he basically said he's sick of the homeless and wishes if you can't put them in an asylum that you could just give them involuntary lethal injections.
Now, I do have to say, he lives and works in New York. And if he's taking subways and stuff there, it's gotten really bad.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
So I think the frustration of just trying to get to work and just trying to deal with stuff in that city, there's enough of that anyway. For
Could
me,
be. I need to see the clip and I need to see the context.
Yeah.
So I can see.
But it does not sound good at all unless he was
No, it
literally
doesn't.
just,
blowing off
spurting
steam.
out.
Yeah. Spurting out's one thing, right? When it's when you're actually fucking serious about it is where there's a problem.
Yeah.
All right. Toxic Man Flu celebrating 33 months as a member. 33 months. And I finally got comments to make a video. I think this new morning wood video schedule will work out. Holy shit. Jaffo's right behind you, man, for 32 months.
Okay,
I don't know, comics.
Those are words I don't want to hear in the same sentence. Jaffo's right behind you.
Yeah, and he's got a fucking priapist.
And he's got a dick pen.
All right. I don't know, comics. You say we need both sides. Part of the issue I see Trump former D, now R. A Gabbard former D, now R. I know Kennedy former D, now I. The list goes on. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, that's why I'm talking about both sides, dude. I mean, it's like, yeah, you have the sane people leaving the Democratic Party, but a lot of those people are probably still going to have liberal values. It's not so much the party. It's that both liberals and conservatives have good ideas and bad ideas is what it comes down to.
And at least for RFK, from his own mouth, it was Charlie Kirk that got him into the administration. Charlie was the one who talked Trump into it through Vance.
Wow.
So, yeah, once again, they killed the voice of reason.
Yep.
Mitchell
That
Oates
coalition isn't built without Charlie Kirk.
comics. He's just toxic man. So Mitchell Oates toxic. He's just trying to give you some dictation. That's good. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. There's Ginger.
Ginger Ninja for nothing. It's a starred comment. What do you think will be the reaction from the right after the funeral on Sunday?
We'll probably be reacting to it on Sunday night on my show.
It will be interesting, and hopefully nothing bad happens.
We'll see what happens.
That's the main thing.
Unless something else in a couple of things in rapid succession happen, I think that it will eventually die out. It will lessen over time. And there may be some
Most things
people
naturally
who
do.
Yeah.
There will be more people who will not be afraid to speak out. I am seeing more flags, American flags in my area. I am seeing more people brazenly flying Trump flags in the area, which is dangerous around here. Especially if you have anything in your car, you want to get a broken window, put a Trump sticker on.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't get some of the reaction from those people on the right. Oh, I'm a target. I'm not going to go to this. You've been a target.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You've been a target. You're just now aware of it. So here's what's going to happen after this funeral is we're going to tell the real patriots on the right from the grifting fucktards. Because the real patriots were the ones that were like, always knew they were targets and still did this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've got people, I'm going to be interested to see how Tim Pool reacts, because I think right now he's reacting like a basic bitch, which is what I think Tim Pool basically is.
I think he's also making a very good point, though, about free speech.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can skirt the First Amendment and the incitement to violence by having one person say, Nazis are evil, we should kill them all, and then having the person next to them say, hey, look,
Nazi.
there's a Nazi.
Yeah.
And that is not considered incitement because it came from two sources instead of one.
Well, and the other thing too that he's brought up too is like some of the logistic stuff, like with insurance. So that's part of some of the problems that he's also having with some of the event stuff. So,
but I think if you really want to be taken seriously, you make it to this event.
Yeah.
This isn't just some event. This is the event.
I think he should go, but I
understand.
I completely understand.
And Tim's not a conservative, and he's not really on the right. He's as fence-sitting as it gets.
No, but he's version of Bill Maher.
Kind of.
I sometimes agree with him.
Sometimes I don't.
Both of them have the fence pole up their ass, and they just spin around wherever the wind blows.
But I often like his guest more than I like him.
But yeah, but I'm right there with you. But the other thing too is Kirk was his friend, so I know he did want to go, but I can understand the security concerns. So I don't know, man. I hope nothing happens Sunday. I really do, because if something bad does happen, oh God, I don't want to see what comes next. All right, Lindsay says, for many generations, this is the first time in our lifetime we witnessed a political assassination. Yes. And that's the reason why people compare it to MLK and several other things. And they're like, there's a big difference. No, it's a fucking political assassination. Okay. Yeah. You can say their messages are different, but this is the first time in our lifetime, my lifetime, this level of a political assassination in this country. I mean, granted, okay, there was the Reagan stuff back in the 80s, but Reagan lived. And
of a single figure.
Yeah. But that was also done by a crazy person. It really wasn't a political assassination. He was trying to get with that chick from Taxi Driver. I can't remember her name at the moment. I'm too fucking tired.
Mary Lou Henner?
No.
Oh, Taxi Driver.
Oh, the guy that shot
Hinckley. Yeah.
Hinckley. No. It wasn't from the girl from. It was from.
Yeah.
Won the Oscar for Silence of the
Clarice.
Lambs.
Hello, Clarice.
Jodie
Yeah.
Foster.
Jodie
Jodie
Foster.
Foster.
Thank you, Jodie Foster. Yeah, I mean that dude was fucking nuts. I mean that you really can't say that was a political assassination. It was the fact that he was nuts.
And I'm pretty sure he was never going to get with her anyway because
Yeah.
she doesn't swing that way.
No, she doesn't. All right, Andy Masterson.
Real quick before we get called out, yes, there have been assassinations, but not at a national level.
Yeah.
Like the Minnesota thing, it
yeah.
was a political assassination.
Right.
But I mean, that's, state reps. That's not a national level thing.
Well, and as much as they try to spin that as being right wing, the whole thing around that's rather dubious.
Guy
Right?
claims that he was told to do it by Tim Waltz and he had no King's flyers in his car. I'm tired of people trying to say it was right wing in any way.
All right. Andy Masterson says at some point, progress becomes regress. It was 1995. Yeah.
I think it was
the idea of perpetual
Obama.
progress is I don't think it's not all progress is going to be good. That's the issue. Okay, if we were arguing with communists, we have to find better arguments. They think crime is byproduct of capitalism. They think capitalism banned. They think if capitalism banned, crime will go away. Well, they're fucking stupid. You need to introduce them to the Holodomor. You need to introduce them. This is the problem with the focus on the demonization of Nazis. Trust me, they deserve it, by the way. But there really has not had the same condemnation that the communists had. Okay, communists way more fucking evil. They kill way more fucking people. Yeah, it doesn't take away from what the Nazis did. It doesn't take away from what the fascists did. But the communists are still fucking around. Okay, fascists aren't. Black Kane celebrating 9 months as a member, says the left says Trump is the Austrian painter, and also you should give your guns to the government. Make that make sense. You can't. I mean,
Even Chew on Head was calling that out today.
Yeah.
Did you watch her video comments?
I did. It was very
and
good.
Chew on Head was of the left for the most part for 10 years or so.
Yep.
And she's getting sucked over to the right because even she was like, you just shot Charlie Kirk and then you call to ban guns.
Yeah.
We're at the point where that ain't ever happening.
Yeah.
The second is firmly entrenched at this point.
Yep. Yes, indeed. And that's the thing I find so funny about it is that immediately before even knowing even when they did know what the rifle was, they were immediately calling for the banning of AR-15s. And it's just like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. I mean, that ain't going away at this point. All right. Oh my God, the cockpit. We already got that one. And Stitch celebrating 12 months as a member. Excuse me. We are done. As much as I want to go over those stats with you guys,
we'll do them Sunday.
Yeah, we'll just talk about it on Sunday. It's 11:30, and I'm fucking tired. I've been up since 4:30. So, Jason, we will start with you.
Okay, well, today's show we had Paul DeGarabedian on from ComScore. We were talking about the end of summer box office not making it to 4 billion like he was thinking it might. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. Saturday, we have a YouTube members only Ask Mom Anything stream that actually I think is going to happen this time.
You're so screwed, buddy.
I know. It was funny because we did a test today and mom got tickled and something started giggling. She said, how do you think this is going to, I think this is exactly the way it's going to go. It's going to go just like this with her giggling. I think it's going to be funny, but yeah, that's going to be, Saturday at 6 Eastern for about an hour, but you got to be a member, $1.99 a month. And then we'll see what happens. Outside of that, I don't know. You'll notice I had to reset the count on Mindy's incidents. The dog ripped her leg open last night. So,
oh no,
oh my God.
Yes, it was, miniature pincher. She gets really excited. She climbs all over Mindy and her nails need trimming. And just took a chunk of skin out, and there was blood everywhere on the bed. So I was like, oh, okay, here we go, ready to reset the count. So yeah, that other than that, not much going on. Babylon 5 rewatch on Wednesday nights, and more of the same next week, I guess. Where Deeple was in the chat earlier. He's trying to get us to 3,000 on YouTube so I can read the Tom King book as a bedtime story. But we're not moving on our
Oh, I thought you were doing the chest waxing. I'm sorry.
No.
Wrong
Okay.
YouTuber.
No, wrong YouTube. That's all I got. Oh, and Culture wasn't here, but he's back Sunday nights on Sunday.
I already got it pulled up, dude. As soon as we get through Brahma, Saber Tooth Raptor, I will show you the ships.
You show us this what?
His ships.
Oh.
So tomorrow I'll be on Ascendant Art. Saturday, nowhere. Sunday, doing the bullpen, typically with comics and little Chad, and I think Mad's going to be there again this week. And we've got Carrie Smith and Mikey Harlow coming on as special guests. So come check that out. It'll probably be a bit more of this because it's going to be in the news cycle for a little bit, and we'll have the funeral that day, so we'll be reviewing some of that. So come check it out. Cheers. Hope everybody has a good night.
Thank you, sir. All right. Here's the oh dear God. So here's the first ship. Well, it's technically it's all one ship, just from the different angles. So that's the kind of like front down. That's more kind of a Dutch angle of it. It's pretty cool, man. It's nice. And more kind of the top down. And what the fuck you got here, Tox? Yeah, it's a lot of angles. That ship looks good, dude.
Yeah.
This shit does not, but I will be using this in some kind of video soon.
That's an album cover right there.
That is right there.
I fucking hate how AI makes me look.
Yeah. The
uninteresting, or that just could be me.
Yeah, the uninteresting.
I hate how I fucking look.
Yeah. You're taller than that. Anyway, not by much. This is funny. It's Tom.
Yeah, looks like him.
I don't.
I can imagine Tom actually doing that too.
Thing is, this guy's doing stuff I can't
ballet?
do. I don't know. But if that's what TikTok is, I don't want any of it. Hero Comics loves reward time with Tox. Lucky Charms. There you go.
But he's feeding you goldfish.
Goldfish?
I guess. I don't know. Well, you know, it's AI. And this is funny. So Core member does the whole extra girl thing. So you're a little leprechaun.
That is actually fucking funny. That is actually funny.
Have you taken heed to Orwell's writings, 1984? Back off, leprechaun. Big sister's watching you. That's good. I like that.
How tall is she anyway in real life? She seems like she's one of the taller.
Right around 6 foot.
Is she? Okay.
No, she's actually
she's about 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, she's pretty
really
close to. Yeah,
I thought she was closer to my
heels. Wearing heels, she's like 6 foot. She's like 5'8", 5'9". She
wears
close to my height.
orange heels. Yeah.
I don't ever pay attention to the shoes. She just always seems to be pretty close to my height. So,
yep, it's the heels.
It's the heels.
My wife is funny. Whenever I'll be barefoot. She'll be wearing high heels. She's like, hey, shorty. I was like, you're just as tall as I am. In those heels.
Yep. Not when we're laying down. All right. Hates when Jimmy Kimmel gets fired. Quiet when Charlie Kirk is assassin. This guy is the biggest piece of shit.
Is that Swalwell?
Yeah.
Swalwell. Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Eesh.
Fang's lover.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fang in the bang bang.
I even got my ring. That's cool. Irate does pretty good stuff. That's the Robert Farmer, that thing. Here we go. You got this. You go out there and tweet the dumbest shit imaginable. This meme's been going around a lot.
That's fucking great.
Spot on. Yep. Pretty sure that's the opposite of sugar daddy. Patient has an insulin pimp. Oh, I know what this application is too. That's fucking hilarious. She's a little dusty. Let me clean her out. Ladies and gentlemen, the computer no longer turns the fuck on. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
have to replace mine every few years out here in the garage.
Yeah. I'm
Or
not
you could just
this.
blow it out like once a month or so.
Oh, the shit my
Yeah.
blanket pulls at 3 a.m.
But my fans are also sucking cigarette smoke through them at all
Through too,
times.
yeah. So they're-
Dude, okay. I used to work at CompUSA back in the 90s, and there was like one computer I had to work on,
Mhm.
and it was like, you could tell it was a smoker that owned it because like all the fucking lint and dust and the dude never fucking cleaned it. So the motherboard literally was coated with filth, and
Yeah.
it had
Mhm.
tobacco tar on it too. It's like, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
It's like no wonder your computer's not working.
we broke down
I stopped
somebody's
buying
It's
computer.
got its
cans
own
of
fur
air.
coat.
I stopped buying cans of air and got one of these.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, you need that.
Just a little fan, so I blow it out.
I need to
quite
fucking
often.
blow out my computer. My office is kind of dusty. I need to fucking dust my lights and my camera. It's pretty
Trying to
bad.
dust all these bottles and glasses behind me is a 2 to 3 hour job.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't do that. I had a guy next to me. I was working in New York, and he left, and we got his computer, and we were just going to break it down, and there was a banana in it.
What the fuck?
So the guy who had put it together was still there, had built the thing 4 years earlier, had left a banana in it.
Fucking banana peel in there.
No.
An
A
actual
banana. It had
But
just
it shriveled
petrified.
to
Oh my god.
It was petrified.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Accidentally stood too close to the scanners, for fuck's sake. Monster pipe. Ah.
wah, wah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. And Diva went to sleep. Fanta, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, Rape, Cherry Vanilla Strawberry. And he goes, I didn't know Sprite had strawberry. Yep, that's pretty bad. They don't know I'm the real download button. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. If you can't be a good Samaritan, be a good Cimmerian. I got it. That's nice. That's good.
I'd rather be the Sumerian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you want to have sex with this guy. No, you. Let's see here.
Fuck off.
Oh, it's Wang's home delivery.
Nice.
That's us.
I'm just waiting for Brahma to do the voice.
He's tired.
Damn you,
Size-
Manfred.
Damn you, Manfred. Size of the donut hole down through the ears. Interesting. Reverse the chart. It's my asshole through the ears. Why would you comment that?
Oh my god.
Oh, that's bad. Safe word must be at least 8 characters long and must contain one special character.
They're all charging cables or Ethernet cables.
Those are Ethernet cables that all been
Ethernet?
flipped around. Yeah, he's made a
Yeah.
cat of nine tails out of it. So, all right. When you open the oven, check if the pizza's done. Yeah, dumbass. Done that so many times. TV came with a whole living room set.
The styrofoam packaging.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's funny.
Oh, that was good. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Devil. And stop calling me Dollar Store Obama. Yeah.
Fucking Cory Booker. He is Dollar
Yeah.
Store Obama.
Yeah. He's not Dollar General, though, that's for sure. You best start believing in demons. We up against them.
Mhm.
Oh, we always have been.
Yep.
Black fathers are more actively involved in their kids' lives than any other group,
Not
Okay.
for smokers.
except for smokers. It's a blessing the assassin wasn't black shit, because there wouldn't have been a father to turn him in.
No.
Oh, that's bad. That's not very nice.
That's awful.
I need to read. I deserve this. Yeah, he did it to himself. Fucker. Stay the line, FBI. He was on our radar.
Yeah.
Yay! Oh, say the line. Yep. The FBI is one of the most useless agencies in the country. So is the Fed, the IRS, the Department of Education. I'm actually pretty upset they haven't shut the Department of Ed down. Me watching orcs get fired left and right for openly celebrating murder. There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
The thing
Those
with the
orcs
FBI,
are for
though,
humans.
is it's reactionary in nature.
Mm-hmm.
So are police. I mean, that's the other reason we need the Second Amendment.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So we got that. And these look very disgusting. Leftists censor anime via payment processors. Leftists blame the right. A leftist shoots up a Catholic school. Leftists blame the right. A leftist assassinate Charlie Kirk. Leftists blame the right. Yes, that's kind of how that goes. And they have very small blue dicks. Me at 39, moderating over 53 Discord servers with over 200 kittens begging me for attention. Job applications sit around the campfire telling scary stories about bro. Oh, that's bad. Somebody beefed that
You
up,
see how
too.
much lotion there is on the desk?
No,
Now,
I
this
didn't
one-
notice that.
This
I was like
Eucerin
looking
he's
at his
using now.
fucking
He's got a
fat
laptop
calf, dude.
and lotion.
Yeah,
Would you see what's down here?
I can't see what's down there, but I'm not
There's more
not
lotion down
interested in
here
what
and
the
a
bucket is for.
bucket. Exactly. And what's this tube going to the bucket?
Holy fuck.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not, maybe it's not a bucket. Maybe it's a diaper genie.
It may be a diaper. It's some kind of trash can. Oh
It's
my
probably
God.
filled with
What is this?
jizz.
Oh, yeah.
It's filled with jizz.
And Deeple's sick. This motherfucker gonna feel the heat of 80+ sex mods and Schraders in Skyrim.
Turn on everything and make the GPU heat up to
Heat up and
nuclear.
burn it.
Jesus, that is a giant fucking spider.
In somebody's PC. Yeah, that has to be in Australia where that shit's, yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't living there. I got you a Starscream
Starscream,
Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan, Starscream.
Starscream.
That's pretty good. Jimmy Kimmel Live. Oh, yeah, I could do that show. No, I couldn't. I'm too old. Let's
You
see.
go
Oh,
out
and
there
there
and
we go.
start doing the old Arsenio. Woo, 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 woo.
The Spirit Halloween thing over this was really fun. It's the funniest thing that's been on this show in
funny.
years. Every masterpiece, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, has its cheap copy. Legend of Zelda.
I
Was it
agree on that
Ocarina
one.
of Time.
Ocarina of Time.
Okay. It was a made up word. Thank you. All right. Falcon with all due respect, imagine having Wendy's for lunch. Wendy's, with all due respect, imagine doing social media for mid-tier rubber. Let the record show that I was provoked.
Oh my God, that's fucking funny.
Edge brownie pan for Edge lovers. Oh man, I hope
That
this
has
doesn't get
different connotation.
interpreted 15 years later.
Exactly.
Yes. I have one of these fans, and I do make these kind of brownies. All right. Big husky female running down Robert and King. She looks hot and thirsty, but ran away. Comments, Mitchell Penderson. Dog or human?
Big husky female.
Big husky female. Pop culture minefield. Oh, did somebody say, okay. I don't know
You were
what
just
that
tagged in
was.
it.
Just tagged in it. Thursday Night Throwdown talks Junior flies Spirit Air and plays Pac-Man during the flight. That is true.
Yeah, did you guys read that story?
No.
Air traffic controller, Spirit Airline was getting too close to another plane, and the air traffic controller was like, "Put down the effing iPad and fly the plane."
It was not just in the airplane. They were getting too close to Air Force One.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It says there's a plane in your vicinity. It's blue and white.
They will shoot you down.
Yep.
Okay, that's not scary at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this has to do with Tiny Wonder.
Except for your face.
You're
on
a
it.
tiny wonder.
There's just
That's
too much
somehow
shit
more
going on.
disturbing than when it happened in Deadpool.
This is funny.
Yeah. Well, that's what he looks like when he takes the hat off. I mean, seriously. A lot of
Okay,
people think
sure.
he's bald.
He's not.
He's got a
He's closer to Epic Mike than bald.
Should I tell Peter Dinklage to bring his singles work? Why did you need off on the 9th and 10th? Me, I had something come up on short notice. Showgirls 3, The Midget is back June 9th and 10th.
Yeah. I think I said
You
don't
responded
tag.
back, Tom. Yeah.
I say don't tell Tom.
Oh, this thing we didn't get to. So, South Park, apparently we do things last minute. Sometimes you don't get it done. That's one on us. We didn't get it done this time. Thanks to Comedy Central. Is this the first time they haven't delivered?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
sure,
buy this excuse for
I don't buy
anything.
it either.
Not 1 minute. So they moved everything off.
They had
did
something. Yeah, they did something.
They probably had the Charlie Kirk character back on with Cartman.
Doing something.
Either
doing
that
something.
or there was something that was a little too on the nose.
Or they're going to reverse course and stop attacking the Trump administration?
I doubt it.
I doubt it, but I mean, I'm betting they're going to shift the storyline.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think they're going to have to. I think they were going to do some stuff around Charlie Kirk. Now he's not there.
No, I mean the seasonal arc storyline.
God, I hope so. Computer, deactivate safety protocols and give me a battle suited for a real warrior. I would like to speak to your manager.
But the other thing on South Park is I don't blame South Park for this at all.
No, I don't blame them at
Charlie
all.
No, I think they had
fully
an
enjoyed
entire
being
season
on
fill
that
that stuff
episode.
out. Yeah,
He
and I
loved
think
it.
he died, and they're having to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think they have any part in it.
I saw Arch kind of say something about that, and there's some people that are getting a little too bent over South Park. It's like that somebody blames South Park after Charlie Kirk. And he's like, it's like this is not South Park's fault.
Out of respect, they even pulled the episode when they weren't even asked to.
Yeah.
Then the right started going
In
after them,
Comedy Central.
trying to get everything. Stupid.
Yeah, that was dumb.
So Angel Reese and Bronny James and Brick Brothers. So this is LeBron James saying he can't hit the broadside of the barn, and neither can Angel Reese. She's in the WNBA and has a mustache. That's
interesting.
well done.
She thinks
Well
very
done.
highly of herself.
So 2 white actors in Black Panther also played Gollum and Bilbo Baggins, meaning they are the 2 Tolkien white guys of the movie.
Yeah, that joke's been
wah.
made. that joke is like it's like
I told
6
you,
years
Haywood.
old.
I told you, Haywood. He wouldn't blow you for that one. I think that's it. Yep,
Probably
that's the
depends
stuff
on
from
your
this one.
algorithm, Rhaegar,
For what?
about people that were going after South Park. I saw a few.
Yeah, there were a few. There weren't a whole lot, but there were a few.
I blocked most of people on Twitter at this point. So
Yeah, fair enough.
all I see is cat videos and comics as a midget.
Well,
Or
imagine
the
what
Legion,
I've
that's
seen
it.
for the last week, because all of my algorithm is made up of me searching political stuff. So
Oh,
I get
God.
all
Dude,
of the
mine
Brooklyn
is all, like,
Dad, all
fucking-
Joe from Jersey, the Krasensteins. That's all I get.
I'm getting
So
all,
all
that
I
shit.
got was them celebrating all week.
That's all I've been getting too. It's fucking crazy leftists complaining about free speech right now. It's like, fuck off. All right, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central Time, I will be playing Stellar Blade. So look forward to that.
What? Oh, you're playing Pong, bitch.
Here's some
Pong.
credits.
Pong.
Good night, folks. Take care.
Pong.
Mitchell, it's about the only place where all of us who do shows are able to actually communicate with each other in an effective way.
Oh, what, Twitter?
Yeah.
I thought
I
it was
yes.
texting one another.
Twitter
it
is
was Grindr.
Twitter is a cesspool just like Reddit. But it's not near as bad as it was before Musk.
No, it's actually a lot better. Typically, I don't get a bunch
All
of
the
leftist
homo
shit.
tickle trunk.
But
all the
unfortunately, because I've been engaging a lot of these fucking retards, it's just in my feed. And
Yeah,
sometimes I
cringy.
just can't help myself.
I know, I do the same thing.
Death Angles Stews.
Detangled Shadows?
That dude, yeah. Hi, Tina. See you, Rego. Mr. Tickle Truck takes it all the way. Mahalo, Tobek. Oh, I'm the other half the homo. Okay. I'll meet you on the Senate floor.
Bring your gimp gear.
Bring the gimp gear.
Not in this administration, bitch.
And a razor. Night, all right. Hey, you're welcome. Oh, that's the comics. Fuck that guy. All right. Good night. I'm sure you will. Because Canadians need to see what it's like to have an actual free government. Night, John. Born in 1958 BC, before computers. Oh, there were computers in 1958. They were called Asians.
And they were the size of an entire room.
Camera's gonna explode.
The Asians were the size of an entire room?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Big
if
titty,
you put all
big
of them in
titty
one
agents.
Big titty agents. Ayo. Yeah, he's bringing it back or something. Who knows?
Ayo.
Does anybody know what time that's coming back yet?
I have no fucking clue. He's like,
He's
comics
supposed
is going to be there. And I'm like,
He's supposed to be
what
going
time?
early enough to finish before my show, is what he has said to me.
Your show
So he's gonna finish before
Mine
Braun.
starts at 8 Mountain, 9 Central.
Oh, wow. Really?
Fuckity bye. Gary said that.
Yep.
One of his responses to the Kimmel was "fuckity bye." I'm like,
Fuckity bye.
so I reposted it to Randall. I'm like, hey, look, he stole your tagline. No, we're gonna come. I've got Krigler's nut cream. He gave me his nut cream out of his bag.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Good night. We'll
Night,
catch
everybody.
you next time.
Night. Night.